From Griffin Park on the campus of Dutchtown High School in Geismar, it's time for Class 5A High School playoff baseball. My name's Lyall Boudreaux, and along with Mike Mohler, we welcome you to today's quarterfinal game between the number 11 seed Central Wildcats and the third-seeded Dutchtown Griffins. When we return, we'll talk about last night's thrilling 10-inning game and also talk about today's Game 2 game in this best-of-3 series. And we'll also have Dutchtown's starting lineup and a whole lot more, followed by the first pitch of today's game on the REV Game of the Week.
New inventory arriving weekly at Ross Downing Buick GMC Hammond and Ross Downing Buick GMC of Gonzales. We've got truckloads of inventory en route. Even if you don't see it on the lot, it's on the way during the end of summer sale at Ross Downing Buick GMC Hammond and Ross Downing Buick GMC of Gonzales. Like the new 2021 Sierra 1500 on the way at RossDowningHammond.com. RossDowningGonzales.com.
You care about your car. So do we. Donaldsonville Glass and Body has been around for over 40 years, providing unparalleled collision repairs and customer service, especially when you and your car are having the worst day ever. When you demand exceptional workmanship, call Donaldsonville Glass and Body. Free pickup for your collision repairs and get it back as good as new. It's your choice, so why not choose the best? Donaldsonville Glass and Body.
Dr. Brian Hollis is Ascension Parish's orthodontist. Dr. Hollis has an excellent reputation for bringing state-of-the-art technology and the highest standard of patient care to Ascension. He attended LSU Dental School, and he completed a residency to become a board-certified specialist in orthodontics. An avid supporter in our community, Dr. Hollis is married to Celeste Pyron Hollis, and they have 4 children. Dr. Hollis, Ascension Parish's orthodontist. Grow up smiling with Hollis Orthodontics.
Piku Builder Supply, your one-stop lumberyard, provides an extensive selection of quality building supplies for your new construction and remodeling. We offer computer-aided estimating of your building and remodeling plans, as well as blueprint copies. From humble beginnings to becoming the industry leader in Gonzales and beyond, Piku proudly supports our local community because we believe in giving back to those who have had a hand in our success. Let the experts at Piku Builder Supply help you with your new project today.
If you believe in me, I'll be the first one in our family to graduate college.
I'll be the one to change our history of diabetes.
I'll live a healthy life.
If you believe in me, I'll know my worth is more than face value.
I'll be stronger than a weak heart. I'll know 68 pounds carries weight in this world.
If you believe in me,
I'll believe in myself.
Belief in our children can change their future. Our Lady of the Lake Children's Health.
The Tata Law Firm has been fighting for our clients to get their best recovery for over 20 years. And now that tradition will continue to the next generation.
Hi, I'm Rick Tata, the newest member of the Tata Law Firm.
We understand that it can be frustrating dealing with your claim.
So we're here to help you get what you deserve. If you're seriously injured in an accident, call the Tata Law Firm today.
We're not just a face on an ad.
Call 756-0007 when you're injured. You gotta call. You gotta call Tata.
Welcome back to Griffin Park. This is Game 2 of this best-of-3 series between the third-seeded Dutchtown Griffins and the 11th-seed Central Wildcats. 34-3 the Griffins. The Wildcats come in at 28-8. Game 1 of this best-of-3 series was played last night, and what a dandy it was, Mike Mohler. You were here last night, and you can see that line score. It took 10 innings, and Dutchtown eked out the 3-2 win.
Yeah, and the ending was kind of what you expected after you see how both teams battled. I mean, it involved everything. Good pitch and couple timely hits. Each team pushed a couple runs across the board early, zeros for the next 5-6 innings, and then Dutchtown ended up scoring on a wild pitch. But I mean, we had some hidden runs, we had some bunts, we had some steals, some pickoffs, we had a couple balls misplayed, and I mean there was traffic on the bases. It got chaotic at times, and then the pitcher shut it down. And I mean, it's exactly what you expect whenever you get to this point of the playoffs.
Of course, people may have heard by now it was a strikeout, wild pitch that allowed the winning run to score from third, and also it would have been the third out had the batter been retired, and the run would not have counted.
Of course, yeah, and it was a 3-2 count. It was a breaking ball down in the dirt, and just got by the catcher, and Grant Morrison being heads up, runs down to first base, and after all is said and done, they mobbed him at first base.
Well, you see Jace Bennett got the win. He's now 7-1. Jimmy Johnson, the loss, his first of the year, and he is going to be the starting pitcher today. Let's take a look at the notebooks for both teams. For Dutchtown, you see the Coach Chris Shakesnotter now in his 15th year.
Yeah, quite the resume for Coach Shake. He actually picked up his 350th win a couple games ago. As you see, he's got 351 wins and 171 losses against 2 ties. The district play is impressive at 129 and 41. The playoffs is as impressive as well at 25 and 17. You see he captured district championships in 09, 11, 12, 13, and 22. And going back to the playoff success, 23 and 17, they reached the finals in 09, semifinals in 10, quarterfinals in 08, 12, 14, and 18, 21, and this year in 22. But this is the first time Dutchtown is hosting the quarterfinal round here at Griffin Park.
And if you wonder how can it be the first time, because of all the times they've been in the quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals, well, up until a few years ago, the final 8 went to the state tournament. It has only been the last couple of years where you have the first 3 rounds are now played on the school campuses, and that's the reason, since that has happened, there is no longer, or Dutchtown has not hosted a quarterfinal game. They've always been on the road.
Right, so I mean, and then it goes to top 4 teams get to, if you're in the top 4, you get to host all the way through the quarterfinals. Top 8, at least you get to host the first 2.
And that's the story for the Dutchtown Griffins. And last night you were telling me, Mike, what a tremendous crowd they had as the coaches are meeting at home plate. Let's talk now about the Central Wildcats. As we said, they are 28-8 on the year. Central coached by Lyall McClure. This is his 3rd year to be the head baseball coach at Central. Leo's family ties. He's got a couple of sons that both have ties with LSU. His son Trey was a member of LSU's national championship baseball teams in both 1996 and 97. Another son, Todd, played football at LSU and then went on to star for 14 years as center with the Atlanta Falcons in the NFL. Some pretty good pedigree for Coach McClure. Coach McClure also was the head basketball coach at Southeastern for 5 years, from 1978 through 1984, and he's done the hat trick, the trifecta. Coach McClure has coached all 3 major sports at Central, which is his alma mater. He coached basketball in the 80s, football in the 90s, and now this decade he's the head baseball coach, Coach Lyall McClure, a graduate of Central back in 1973. So you've got, Mike, here a couple of pretty veteran coaches you see meeting with the umpires. Lyall McClure doing a lot of the talking, and if you know Coach McClure, he likes to talk. And you got Chris Shakesnotter. But let's talk quickly about the pitching matchup. Central's going to go with their guy, Jimmy Johnson. Dutchtown's going to go with Landon Monso.
Nathan Monso.
So it should be quite an afternoon in this ball game.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at Monso, he's coming in 9-0. He just like Gisclair, who threw last night, comes in with a undefeated season so far, but kind of the matchups we thought. We see Gisclair against Primo last night, and you see Jimmy Johnson against Monso today. So, I mean, I kind of expect, or you have to expect pretty much the same as last night. We got a little taste of Jimmy last night, tried to come in and close it. Wasn't as successful as he would have wanted to be, but I'm sure he's going to get right back in the saddle today.
Well, Monso last night did not pitch. Dutchtown had Gisclair go and then Jace Bennett. For Jimmy Johnson, he did throw, I think it was something like 24 pitches last night. So He will be good to go today. 115 is the pitch limit. And as the on-play meeting has broken up, and as we get ready for Game 2, a must-win for Central. If Dutchtown wins this game, they will advance to the Final Four. Central wins, we will have another game to follow 45 minutes after this game, and you will see that live streamed right here on the ETEL Game of the Week. Right now, Miss Cadence Jenkins, who is a junior here at Dutchtown High School, a member of the vocal ensemble choir, she will sing the national anthem prior to the start of today's Game 2.
Broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. The ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in there gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Dutchtown Junior Cadence Jenkins with our Star-Spangled Banner. And we are about to have the ceremonial first pitch, which will be special today. We'll have a trio throwing out the first pitch. It'll be Coach Chris Shakespeare and his three kids, Jared, Abby, and Tanner, are going to fire away the first pitch of today's game.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jared, Abby, and Tanner Scheckschneider. All right. Thank you very
We're ready to go. It's time to play some baseball. And I tell you what, Mike, it is extremely warm this afternoon. It is 86 degrees. It feels like it's 90. No wind to speak of. 3 miles an hour west-northwest. It is going to be a hot one. And however efficient both starting pitchers can be, are going to be huge in this 1 o'clock start.
Yeah, you're right. We talk about high-stress innings, high-stress pitches. You want to try to eliminate or minimize as many of those as you can if you're today's starting pitchers, and that that takes help from the defense. You got to make your plays, be on your toes, help that pitcher out when you can, because 86 degrees is, I know that's what it reads on the thermometer, but that's, I don't know, it's kind of an understatement, I guess. It feels a lot hotter than that.
Well, Jimmy Johnson came in and pitched an inning last night. Was the tough luck loser as he struck out what would have been the third out of the inning. It was considered a wild pitch as we watch him warm it up right now. Dutchtown's going to be sending up Ethan Mayo, Colin Dupree, and Tanner Vaughn. Not a lot of hits at all last night. 7 for Dutchtown and only 5 for Central. Pitching dominated in that game last night that ended up going 10 innings. Again, Dutchtown wins. They're going to advance to the Final Four. Central wins. We'll wait 45 minutes and then play Game 3, which we will have live streamed for you right here on REV Sports. We're also going to be telling you about what's going on in the other 3 quarterfinals. Huge upset last night. How about Sanoma pulling off the shocker? They shocked the Barb Bucks, and that resonated throughout the state.
Yeah, it did. Barb is the perennial powerhouse juggernaut per se, on the baseball side, at least in this state. And Sanoma goes over there and, immediately in the first inning, takes the wind out of their sails with that grand slam by Cole Poirier, and then he added another 3-run homer his next at bat. And I mean, when you get to this point in the playoffs, I mean, all these teams are good, right? I mean, 7-0, and then it got 7-1. That's just a tall task to ask to try to come back from that.
You know, when you listen and you read around the state with high school baseball, I think there were more people pulling for Santamar that follow high school baseball than the Gators have ever had pulling, because everybody wants to see Barb go down, and that's a tribute to Barb.
It is. It is a tribute to him, and I mean, it's not so much they're pulling against Barb. Maybe they're just, want to see some new blood raise that trophy at the end of the year.
And we'll take as soon as we can, we're going to take a quick look at the batting order for the Dutchtown Griffins. This turned in by Coach Chris Shake Snyder.
Leading off for the Griffins today, the left fielder, Ethan Mayo. Batting second, Colin Dupree. He's the right fielder. And hitting third is the third baseman, Tanner Vadney. Hitting cleanup, Will DeLon, and he's the first baseman. The designated hitter, Carter Hanberry, he'll hit fifth, and he's hitting for the pitcher, Nathan Monso. Hitting sixth, the shortstop, Pearson Pyron. Hitting seventh, the second baseman, Grant Morrison. Caleb Ickes, the catcher, hits eighth, and the center fielder, Ruben Williams, hits ninth.
First pitch, Joe Bunt fouled it back, 0-1 the count. And that got a good chunk out of Caleb Easterling, the catcher, and he's already shaken up, and that's looked like it went off of his left knee as Coach Leo McClure is going to come out. And Easterly, his knee is barking right now. And, boy, not a good way to start the afternoon for Central.
Well, you're right. And that's, I mean, you see the shin guards there. There is an actual little area in there that the actual guard does not protect. And I'm thinking maybe he wore it in between there.
You know, it's a funny thing, Mike, and I know you being a left-handed pitcher, I would assume you never caught. People don't realize, I was a catcher at one time, and as far as doing a lot of umpiring over the years, of course, too, but people don't understand what it's like when you take a beating back there, because those foul balls, they hurt.
Yeah,
There's no other way to put it. They hurt.
No, they do, and it can be one that's 83, and it can be one that's 93. So if it just catches you the right way, it's going to resonate for sure.
The one that always used to get me is a foul ball straight back that hits the mask. Sometimes it's like it doesn't even affect you at all. And other times when it doesn't look like, it just gets you the wrong way, and it just jars you.
I know, obviously I never caught before, but I know when they went to these new hockey-style masks, I can remember the catchers talking about how loud it was. That, just the actual decibels, I guess, when that ball hit that mask, it just – rang in their ears. And then I don't know if that took away from you didn't know you just got hit in the head or not, but that was a big difference when they went from the just the old school helmet backwards and the mask to this hockey style.
Well, Caleb Easterling, he's a tough guy. He's going to hang in there. He's not coming out of this game. No balls and a strike the count. Ethan Mayo, the batter, leading it off. This is game 2. That curveball stayed high, and the count now 1-1. What do you think about the 24 pitches for Jimmy Johnson last night? You think that may have an effect or not really?
I don't know, man. It's kind of like a little bullpen maybe before the game. I know it was a little high intensity. Again, we talked about the high-stress pitches. Every pitch he threw was high-stress last night. But, typically you see these starting pitchers throw a bullpen at least 2 days before they're going to start. I don't think one day is going to make that much of a difference.
Little heat on that fastball that stayed high, and the count now 2 balls and a strike. Crowd still filing in on this 1 o'clock game 2. That's high ball 3, 3-1. So everything's up here so far to the first batter, Ethan Mayo, the left fielder.
Yeah, good job by Mayo right there. We usually see him pretty aggressive up there.
Ethan 1 for 4 yesterday, had an RBI. Oh, had a good swing there, fouled it back, and I think that one got a little piece of Easterling as well.
Yes, he did. I was just about to say that. Caught him right in the mask.
So that'll run the count full. Another thing on a day like today, you want to make pitchers work and stay out in the heat.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Payoff pitch comes now to the left fielder for Dutchtown. Ground ball to shortstop. Throw to first base. He's going to be out. Boy, that was close. Want to see a replay there as Taylor Walters to Landon Schultz. Mayo speeding down the line.
Yeah, here we see it again right here. Walters, only one play. He's got to charge that ball as quick as he can. gloves it, gets rid of as fast as he can, just nips Mayo for the first out there. Good play.
That is as close as it's going to get at first base. Here is Colin Dupree. Colin got the collar last night. He was 0 for 4. He is the right fielder. Good job by Walters to get the speedy Mayo, keep him off the base. And that breaking ball misses badly. So all of the misses so far for Johnson have not been close. Dupree, a senior, batting .301 on the year. Upstairs, it's 2-0.
Yeah, something to kind of pay attention to. I mean, we talked about the heat. It's really humid out here, and as you see these pitchers, they're going to be working, sweating. They're going to get a lot of that, sweat on their forearms dripping down to their hands. It's going to be tough to grip that baseball. No dirt to reach down and grab.
Popped him up on the 2-0 pitch. On the edge of the outfield grass, shortstop Taylor Waters is there, makes the catch. That is 2 outs in the inning. And let me ask you this, Mike. With today really being one of the first hot days, I don't guess it's the spring really anymore since we're into May, does that have an effect because your body, I know there's a heat warning out or something today because your body is not acclimated to the heat like right now like it's going to get later in the summer.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, this is, the infant stages of the summer that we're going to get back into, in a couple months. But, I mean, it's a hydrate thing, maybe some potassium I think we used to take, to eliminate cramps and stuff like that. But all that is like a day prior. If you're waiting until the day of, right before the game to try to hydrate, that's typically a little too late.
Tanner Vadnais takes a curveball for a called strike. Johnson works quickly. This one skips outside, and the count now a ball and a strike. Tanner was 2 for 4, so he had 2 of the 7 hits, also scored a run. We'll check the defense for Central after Vadnais' bat. Then we'll give you the batting order for Central as well. All of that's coming up as we play with 2 gone here in the top of the first. Vadnais pops this one up. Shortstop Walters goes out, makes the call. Walters has plenty of time, camps under it, gets the catch, and it'll be a quick 1-2-3 inning, and that will retire the side. So we'll check the defense right now for Central.
Yeah, for the Wildcats defensively in the outfield, left to right, Jude Grimion, Cam Patterson, and DJ Primo. On the infield, third baseman Connor Alsep, shortstop Taylor Walters, second baseman Zach Juneau, and at first base is Landon Schutz. The batter today for the Wildcats doing the catching is Caleb Easterling, and on the mound, Jimmy Johnson.
So after the Griffins go 1-2-3 in their half of the first inning, let's take a look at the batting order turned in today by Coach Lyall McClure. Wildcats, the 11 seed, they are 28-8 on the year.
Offensively for the Wildcats today, leading off the left fielders Jude Grimion, hitting second to shortstop Taylor Walters. In the 3 holes, the pitcher Jimmy Johnson, and batting cleanup the right fielder DJ Primo. Hitting fifth, the first baseman Landon Schutz. The catcher Jacob Easterling hits sixth, batting seventh. The second baseman is Zach Juneau. Connor Alsop, the third baseman, hits eighth, and batting ninth, the center fielder Cam Patterson.
So Johnson didn't have pinpoint control in that first inning, but was able to get the Griffins 3 up and 3 down. And on the bump, it's going to be Nathan Monso, big tall right-hander who has put together a very, very fine senior season for the Griffins.
Yeah, Monso comes in today with a win-loss record of 9-0. His ERA is 1.63. He's got 62 strikeouts in 64 innings against only 24 walks.
Number 16, Nathan Monso.
Senior left fielder Jude Grimion will lead it off for the Wildcats. He'll be followed by Taylor Walters and then Jimmy Johnson. Jude was 0 for 5 last night. Monso looks into Caleb Ickes, has the sign, first pitch, foul straight back. Grimion swinging away at the first offering. Right now we got a little bit of cloud cover, which I'm sure the crowd is thankful for. Monso's 0-1. Fouled at the plate, 0-2. Gisclair went 7 innings last night for the Griffins. Jakes Bennett went the final 3, picking up the win. Central went with DJ Primo for 6. Graydon Harris for 2 2.3 innings. Jimmy Johnson went an inning. 0-2 misses outside and down. 1-2 the count. Checks the swing. Ball's up 2-2. Central in a must-win situation in this game, too. Ground ball to shortstop. Pyron got the out. That's one away, and let's take a look at Dutchtown on defense.
Defensively for the Griffins today in the outfield from left to right, Ethan Mayo, Ruben Williams, and Colin Dupree on the infield. Third baseman Tanner Vadney, shortstop Pearson Pyron, second base Grant Morrison, and at first Will DeLong on the battery today for the Griffins. Doing the catching is Caleb Ickes, and on the bump, Nathan Monso.
Senior Taylor Walters, the shortstop, swings first pitch. Ruben Williams is going back. It's over his head. Walters is heading for second base. He's going to continue running on to third as the relay throw will not be made. It is a sliding triple. Taylor Walters jumps all over that first offering from Nathan Monso.
Ooh, he put a good swing on that ball right there. That ball down in the zone. You know Monso's coming first pitch strike. I'm sure that's their approach today, is to get that first fastball they can hit. Walters drops the head. Burns Williams in center field there. Makes it all the way around for a triple.
That ball was smoked to get it over the head of Ruben Williams because he made a couple of nice plays last night, and he's been playing an outstanding center field all year long for the Griffins.
Yeah, he has. And, I mean, he's not playing shallow either. I mean, that ball was hit.
Here's Jimmy Johnson. Runner breaks for the plate. Pyron's going to get the out at first base. Throw it low. What a scoop by DeLone, but an RBI ground out. And Central is on top 1-0 as the teammates congratulate Johnson for that ground out. Central swinging the bat early. As you can see, the Wildcats, they take a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, that was, I don't know if you noticed, but Walters kind of hesitated there at third, right? I mean, if that ball was hit a little bit harder, Pyron might have had a play at the plate. You know, you're always taught that with one out runner on third base, you go on contact.
DJ Primo swings and misses. DJ had a good day at the plate. He had an RBI single. Takes a called strike. It's 0-2. So both teams, Mike, they are coming out swinging. I guess they know the scouting report that both these pitchers are going to be throwing around the plate. Got him. 3 pitches. Got to retire the side, but that one-out triple and then the ground out by Johnson. It's 1-0. Central is on top. Game 2. You are watching the REV Game of the Week.
Central 1, Dutchtown 0.
From jambalaya, pastalaya, and gumbo to daily lunch specials, Pot and Paddle Jambalaya Kitchen has Cajun dishes to satisfy your hunger. Pot and Paddle has 3 locations to serve you, including the one on Cabela's Parkway in Gonzales, Jefferson Highway near Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, and Jubin Crossing in Denham Springs. You can dine in, carry out, or let them do the catering for an office get-together or tailgating at the big game. And don't forget about their delicious daily lunch specials. You can check out their specials and more on the web at potandpaddle.com.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility, moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ATEL, and Vision are now REV. New name, same company.
Welcome back to Griffin Park, Game 2 of this best-of-3 series between Dutchtown and Central. An RBI ground out by the pitcher Jimmy Johnson plates Taylor Walters. And it is 1-0 as we go now to inning number 2. Will DeLone, Carter Hansberry, and Pearson Pyron will be the first 3 batters for Dutchtown here in this inning.
Yeah, pretty much the same we saw last night. Central jumped on top in their first at-bat in the first inning with a Primo line drive to right field. Picked up that RBI. Central jumped on top 1-0, but Dutchtown answered in the bottom half of that inning.
Well, DeLong was 1 for 4 last night. He leads the Griffins in hitting with a .417 batting average. 23 RBIs for the senior first baseman. Jimmy Johnson ready to work in the second inning. He retired the Griffins in order in the first. And the first pitch is upstairs for ball 1. A lot of misses upstairs so far for Johnson early.
Yeah, I mean, maybe a little adrenaline. I looked for. I mean, he's a good pitcher, right? We know that he'll settle down here in a little bit. But if you're the Griffins, you want to try to get him while he's getting.
That's a called strike. It's 1-1. Johnson is a Southeastern commitment. He'll be pitching for the Lions. Fouled at the plate. And the count now 1-2. We'll be telling you how both these teams reached this point in the playoffs after this half inning. 1-2 pitch to DeLone. Missed poorly there, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, this is the epitome of right now. You see Johnson is what they call effectively wild. His misses are really, really missing, right? But whenever he's throwing a good pitch, they're really, really good pitches. It's tough to zero in on somebody like that.
Missed again outside, and it's 3-2. A ground out and 2 pop-ups in the first inning off of Jimmy Johnson. Runs the count full to 3-2 on Will DeLone. Foul back. So a good at-bat working right now for the first baseman for Dutchtown, DeLone. Crowd still filing in. Well, a lot of people with fans in the stands. There just isn't a whole lot of shade at this ballpark.
Better be a lot of lotion.
Another payoff pitch coming. Oh, that hit him on the batting helmet.
Didn't phase him at all.
Yeah, look at this.
See it again. Big Will's like, hey, man, this is the playoffs. Any way you can, right? If I have to headbutt it to get on first, I'll do it.
You think his dad, Jeff, is saying, I knew he had a hard head.
He may be saying a little more than that.
I mean, he didn't even flinch.
No.
Well, that was one of your uneffectively wild pitches there. That's for sure. Carter Hansberry. Interesting choice today. He's the DH. And this pitch is fouled out of play off to the right side. And I say that because Landon Monso has been one of the better hitters all year. But apparently the decision here is they'd rather have make that Monso in the dugout resting rather than in the batting order.
Yeah, you see Nathan Monso just, normally he is in the lineup hitting fifth. But, on a day like this, little heat. And, Carter Hanberry's been absolutely on fire. So pretty much kind of the same swap right there. And if you can give Monso a little break and not lose anything, then go ahead and do it.
0-1 the count, along with the lead at first base, and that almost hit him. Well, that's one you would almost hope you bat aware because that was a breaking ball inside.
And we saw this matchup last night. Hanberry won the battle, stole 2 bags, got himself in scoring position at third base, and ultimately scored on that wild pitch.
He scored the walk-off winning run. That's a strike.
It's good execution right there. Come in tight right there, kind of back up, back Hanberry off the plate, and then just throw an absolute paintball on the outside corner.
Shortstop Pearson Pyron is on deck for Dutchtown. We play in the second. It's 1-0 Central. Short lead by DeLone at first. Ground ball, this could be 2. Step on the bag, throw to first base, and got it. There was some question whether or not Landon that shoots was able to keep the foot on the bag, and they rolled the double play.
You see that tailor-made right there. You can't get an easier one than that for Walters at shortstop. Big hop right to him, steps on the bag, throw over to complete the double play.
Yeah, that's exactly on a warm afternoon what the doctor ordered in a situation like that. 2 away, the batter will be Pearson Pyron.
Yeah, on a ball like that, I mean, if you're Hanbury, you almost wish you would hit it a little bit further off the end, a little bit slower to where you can't turn to.
Pearson was 1 for 5, had an RBI last night. Takes the first pitch high for ball 1. Pitch limit is 115 pitches in a game.
If you throw 115 today, you deserve whatever you get.
You put in a day's work.
Absolutely, and some.
Well, that pitch might have got a little bit of the extended outside corner. 1-1 to count. Of course, the main thing you look for there is both sides. Good swing by Pyron, fouled it straight back, and the count's now 1-2. Had a good cut.
Good cut there. Johnson left that breaking ball over. Didn't have quite the bite that we normally see. Pearson put a good swing on it, just missed it.
So a leadoff hit by Pitts, then the double play. Now 1-2 to Pyron. Foul back. Another pitch looked like it might have hung a little bit.
Yeah, I think that one looked like he took a little more off of it. You see Pearson just a tick more out in front of it. Lucky to get that cue shot, stay alive.
I kind of thought we would see more fastballs from Johnson early on.
I think I'm not sure he's real comfortable with it yet. We've seen he's really high with it out of the zone and then inside of those right-handed hitters as well.
Got him swinging. That time he throws it, and that is going to be the first strikeout picked up by Jimmy Johnson. So for Dutchtown, they end up going in order. Central's on top 1-0 as we move to the bottom of the second inning. And let's take a look now how both Dutchtown and Central have reached this point in the season.
Yeah, so the number 3 Griffins came in at 32-3, something like that. Anyway, they win their first by-district playoff game against Lyall 9-2. Then they defeated Ponchatoula in 2 games, 4-3 and 3-0. And they defeated Central in this best-of-3 game series yesterday to take a 1-0 lead. Central Wildcats defeated Alexandria in their by-district round 7-1. And in their regionals, they took care of Houghton in 2 games, 6-2, both of those games. And yesterday suffered that loss to Dutchtown in that 10-inning game. So they're in a do-or-die situation right here. They need to win 2 to advance.
And this year in high school baseball, the higher seed, I should say, is the one that hosts. So Central actually went to Houghton and won 6-2, 6-2. And now they're on the road again because Dutchtown is the number 3 seed. So they've had 2 road trips in a row trying to come back and win a pair of games here today.
Yeah, so, a little more of an uphill battle whenever, Central comes in number 11, and you saw Houghton was number 6, and they went up there and took care of business. And then now they have to travel on the road again. That's why those games in the season are so important. You figure you play 30, 35 games, every one of them means something.
Landon Schutz fouls off the first pitch. The junior first baseman will be followed by Caleb Easterling and then Zach Juneau in the Central second inning. Wildcats lead 1-0. Got out in front of an off-speed pitch that time, did Schultz, and the count's quickly 0-2. A one-out triple by Taylor Walters to the center field wall, and then an RBI ground out by Jimmy Johnson plates the only run to this point. Foul ball in and out of the mitt to the backstop. Landon Schutz getting some good swings in here in this leadoff of the second inning. This ball hit well to center field, but it looks like Reuben Williams is going to draw a beat on it. He does. And that is out number 1 in the second.
Yeah, again, Monto just pumping strikes, and you see Central coming up ready to hack. They are not trying to get behind the count, but it's tough with Monto because he's just going to pump strikes. He might give you one look if he's 0-2 or 1-2, maybe something a little bit off the plate, but he's coming right after you.
When we look at this ballpark overall, Mike, what would you say? It's basically more of a pitcher's park than a hitter's park?
Down the lines is pretty fair for the hitters, I think, but once you get to the gaps in center field, center field's 385 typically. You see some of those college fields a little bit deeper, 400 in center and 330 on the corners. But high school-wise, I think it's pretty fair both.
Catcher Caleb Easterling fouls off the first pitch. Caleb, the senior catcher, Chops one to third. That's going to be foul, and the count quickly is going to be 0-2.
Can't help to think if his if that knee's not starting to tighten up a little bit, and I know he sits in that squat back there, it's kind of when that thing would have a tendency to lock up on you.
Yeah, first pitch of the game, Ethan Mayo fouled one off of his kneecap, and the count now 1-2. Caleb Easterling was 0 for 3 last night. Only 12 hits between the two teams in 10 innings. Got him swinging. And that's 2 away in the second. Second strikeout for Monso.
Now batting second baseman number 14, Zach Juno.
Boy, Easterling's got a favor, showing a little limp with that right knee going back to the dugout.
I'm sure that thing is barking right now.
Second baseman Zach Juno. As Monso slipped on the mound as he threw that pitch, it's fouled off. Third straight batter in the inning to foul off a pitch. Interesting situation here with Zach Juno. His pitch is down low. He wears uniform number 14, and Lyall McClure, the head coach, wears uniform number 14.
Yeah, I wonder who didn't want to give it up, who won the battle, or neither one of them, I guess, if they're both wearing 14.
2 balls and a strike now. I guess Juno wanted number 14, and I can only imagine that 14 must be Leo's number from his playing days back in the early 70s. Because they both have uniform number 14. As this is going to be a little stinker into center field. Dive by Morrison, and he can't come up with it. And Morrison might be shaken up a little bit, as that ball was off the end of the bat and a little dying quail out in center field. And Morrison, he may have to get looked at because he is a little bit hurting.
We'll see that again. He just a ball right off the end of the bat. See Parang and Morrison going to dive for that. Morrison kind of sticks his leg in the ground, kind of got hung up there. Tough ball to get to, but you have to love the effort.
Yeah, off the bat, I didn't think that ball would be able to get past the infielders, but it did. Coach Shakespeare out taking a look. It looks like Morrison's going to be okay. It's going to take a lot more than what Easterling took off of his knee in the first inning, and that for Morrison in the second to come out of this game.
Yeah, that's what you got to be just a little leery of whenever you see that knee kind of stick in the ground. You don't want to dislocate that kneecap or anything. You know, if it's just a bruise to it, you can play through it.
So Zach Juno gets his second hit of this best of three. And this is going to bring up Connor Alsep. Connor plays third base when Jimmy Johnson is pitching for Central. First pitch is hit hard, but a one-hopper backhanded by Vadnais. Guns it over to first base, and that will retire the side. A run and a hit. We are now through 2 in game 2. Central is on top, 1-0 here on the REV Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of Dutchtown High School would like to thank SEC Heating and Cooling, Hollis Orthodontics, Tata Law Firm, Raising Cane's in Prairieville, Ross Downing GMC, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation for their support of our sports medicine program.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility, moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ETEL, and Vision are now REV. New name, same company.
Well, Destrehan leads in hits 2-0. They lead on the scoreboard 1-0. Jimmy Johnson back out for his third inning of work. A double play ball in the second inning, and he's only faced 6 batters as we go to the third. It will be Grant Morrison, Caleb Ickes, and Reuben Williams are due up for Dutchtown. Last night, Dutchtown in 10 innings gets a walk-off win. by a 3-2 score. Thus, they need one win today. They win this game, they'll sweep the series. If Central wins, we'll come back 45 minutes after this game, and they'll play a third and deciding game. We've got both games, if there's two, live streaming for you today here on YouTube. Wherever you may be watching, we understand we may have people in the great Northwest watching today. Glad to bring you live streaming of this Dutchtown Central quarterfinal series. Grant Morrison takes a look at the first pitch from Jimmy Johnson, and it's up and in for ball one. Morrison batting .303 on the year. Grant was 0 for 4 last night. Two and 0 the count.
Yeah, Johnson's still not quite comfortable with that fastball right now. I mean, if you're the Griffins, you gotta. You kind of hate to say it, but I mean, you got to hunt the breaking ball right now, right? I mean, make him establish that fastball. Let him know he can throw it for strikes.
That's a strike on the inside corner.
And that's what I'm talking about, the fastball inside. Missed pretty good. The fastball away missed pretty good, and then comes right back to it and paints the inside quarter. That's so hard for those hitters to get comfortable.
Johnson looks in, has the sign. Bounce that one in. You know, and what's interesting, Mike, to me, it's a 3-1 count now on Grant Morrison. He's been effectively wild, but he hasn't walked anybody, and this is his seventh hitter. He did hit Will DeLone to lead off that second inning. And he just ties up Morrison that time, ran it in on him, and it's 3-2.
Yeah, great location right there. 3-1. You know, Morrison's looking something middle away to try to get extended. Just got in his hands right there. Tied him up.
Called that a pitcher's pitch.
Absolutely.
Got him swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts for Jimmy Johnson, and with one gone in the third inning, it'll bring up Caleb Ickes.
It's almost like Johnson is more comfortable pitching from behind. Yeah, he makes really good pitches. I mean, he was 2-0, made a great pitch. He was 3-1, made a great pitch. Comes back 3-2, makes another good pitch.
So the senior catcher for Dutchtown, Caleb Ickes, will bat. Sun shining brightly here at Griffin Park as this pitch fouled back. We're going to take a look at the other three quarterfinal matchups along with this one after this half inning. The score heard around the state, obviously, was that Santa Maria upset of Barb. We'll show you that as we take a look. This is a nice-looking pitch, just feathered in for a called strike, and it's 0-2. Ickes just unable to pull the trigger on that off-speed pitch. Johnson has the sign. Easterling gives the target. And this ball's hit pretty well to left field, but drifting back, the left fielder looks like he'll have room, and he will. And Jude Grimion will catch shy of the warning track for the second out.
Yeah, Ickes got a breaking ball a little up in the zone, just a little bit out front. Keep that ball in the yard, and as Grimion just drifts back, easy catch for the second out.
So with two outs, that'll bring up the center fielder, Reuben Williams. 8 in a row now have been set down, including that double play in the second inning. Starts Reuben off with a strike, and it's 0-1. Reuben looking for his first hit in this series. Swings and misses. By far, this is the best inning we've seen Johnson look. You know, he could be one of those guys once they settle in and get lathered up.
Yeah, I mean, he's tough. He's tough to get to when he's behind in the count. If he starts getting ahead in the count, it could be even worse for the Griffins.
Might have overthrew that pitch, and it's 1-2. A one-out triple in the first and an RBI ground out. That's the run scored by Central. That's the only one in the ball game as we play in the top of the third. Fouled out of play. Good job by Rubin to fight off that pitch. And the count's going to stay at 1-2. Well, you know, Mike, as we look around, I mean, there is just no shade at all at this ballpark.
No, I mean, you see the Griffins in their stands. They've put a tent up there to try to find a little shade.
1-2 count. 2 outs in the inning. Fly ball. Should be easy to center field. Coming in, the center fielder, Cam Patterson, will make the catch. And it is a 1-2-3 inning. And we're going to head to the bottom of the third with Central on top by a score of 1-0. And let's take a look at the 4 quarterfinal matchups around the state and how things played out last night.
Yeah, Lyall, you've already spoken about the score heard around the state so far. Sandoval defeats Barb with a score of 7-4 to take a 1-game lead in that series. Sulphur beats Zachary 11-2, so Sulphur leads that series 1-0. And in the game we saw last night here, Dutchtown defeated Central in 10 innings 3-2. Dutchtown leads the series 1-0, and West Monroe beats Sam Houston 5-4 to take the lead in that series as well.
And looking over the schedule, everybody, all 4 of those series are playing their second game started at 1 o'clock. So everybody's on the same time schedule today. And then the, if necessary, game will follow that. Here it'll be 45 minutes at the conclusion of this game. And again, as we said, we want you to know that we've got both games today. If there's 2 games, they will both be live streamed right here on REV Sports on our YouTube channel. So there you see the 4 quarterfinal games. Boy, can Sandoval pull it off and win one today.
That would, we would think the score heard around the state was big last night. That would be huge for the Sandoval Gators if they could pull out a victory against the Bucks today.
Cam Patterson leads it off, the center fielder, 9-hitter. Swings and misses at the first offering from Nathan Munso. And you mentioned it earlier, hats off to Cole Poirier. What a night. I mean, he had a night a high schoolers dream of. Grand slam and a 3-run home run as this one hopper right at Pearson Pyron at short. Will DeLong, and 2 pitches and 1 out in the third.
Good job on Monzo working quick, getting some outs early in counts to try to minimize that pitch count, especially in the weather that we have out here today.
You know, I couldn't help but see that ground ball hit right at Pyron. Boy, you get good hops on this turf.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, you're taught to immediately off the bat, you know, you want to know which hop you're supposed to catch, right? But this turf is just a little bit more forgiving.
I mean, that ball was hit pretty well, but it just took a really convenient hop for Pyron. As after a pitch is popped up to right field, and looks like Colin Dupree is going to have a play. And in fair territory, Dupree makes the catch. So quickly 2 gone here in the third. Jude Grimion now 0 for 2 on the day.
Shortstop number 15, Taylor Walters.
And with 2 outs, here is Taylor Walters, who got the big hit of the day. He tripled back in the first inning and scored on an RBI ground out by Jimmy Johnson. Nathan Monso ready to work, gets the sign from Caleb Ickes. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Walters put a charge into his swing. He hit it over the head of Reuben Williams, and that's not something you see happen often.
Yeah, that's the hardest ball I've seen hit so far in this series.
This ball could be trouble down the left field line, and it is a foul ball as the left fielder, Ethan Mayo, gave chase, but it'll be foul and quickly 0-2. Central trying to get a win here to force a third and deciding game. Both these teams, interestingly enough, Mike, both these teams have 2 guys considered aces, ace 1 and 2.
Yeah, when you get to this point in the playoffs, you're going to see that. I mean, especially this series, because it's tough to get, you know, you got to have some pitching depth. We just got an update from Lake Charles. Barb is out in front of ahead of Sandoval 2-0. after 2 complete over there. So Sandomal going to have a little uphill battle facing Guidry, I think, today.
Ground ball right at Grant Morrison on 2 hops. Morrison over to DeLone, and it is a 1-2-3 inning in the third. We're through 3 in this quarterfinal matchup. Central is on top 1-0 here on the REV Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of Dutchtown High School would like to thank SEC Heating and Cooling, Hollis Orthodontics, Tata Law Firm, Raising Cane's in Prairieville, Ross Downing GMC, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation for their support of our sports medicine program.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility, moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ATEL, and Vision are now REV. New name, same company.
Well, wherever you may be watching on our REV Sports YouTube channel, we hope you're enjoying quarterfinal baseball between Dutchtown and Central here in Geismar from Griffin Park on the campus of Dutchtown High School, with Central on top 1-0. So far, Mike, we thought we would see a pitching duel, and that's pretty much what we've seen, and it's pretty much been the theme yesterday's 10-inning game and the first 3 innings here.
Exactly. I mean, 2 total hits today, and Central has both of them. Johnson has faced the minimum through 3. Not perfect as he hit Will DeLong with a pitch, but DeLong was promptly erased by a double play. So Johnson has faced only the minimum. Dutchtown seeking their first hit.
It'll be the top of the order. Mayo, Dupree, Vadney.
Leading off the top of the 4th inning for the Griffins, left fielder number 9, Ethan Mayo.
Mayo bounced out to shortstop to Taylor Walters his first time up. Jimmy Johnson's first pitch of the 4th inning. That hit him. Just nipped him. And I guess if you're going to get hit by a pitch, that's the kind you want it to be, one where it just nips you.
Yeah, you see that just maybe on the jersey there. Won't feel that tomorrow at all.
You know, that was an easy call for the umpire because I think he could see the jersey move. And it happened right in front of him, and that's the second hit batter for Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, and I mean, I love the way Jimmy Johnson's throwing. I mean, he's battling inside. He wants to get you out inside, establish, own that inside part of the plate. Just missed on a couple, a little bit too far as he nipped Mayo there and hit DeLone in the head.
Here is Colin Dupree now. And now Dupree tires of waiting and is going to call time. Looking at the stolen bases for Mayo, he's got 6 on the year. Dupree has 1 sacrifice bunt, if you're thinking about that. Johnson from the belt, check the runner. Shows bunt, push bunt down the third base side. It's going to be foul. Pushed it a little bit too hard, and it is 0-1. Dupree popped up to shortstop, his only time up today. You know, when you play a game like this, Mike, you got 2 aces going. Runs are at a premium, and when you get a hit by pitch to start an inning for the second time now in 4 innings, you got to try to take advantage.
Yeah, and it looked like Dupree was trying to bunt for a hit there as he squared around fairly late. If you're going to give yourself up, you should be squared around right now, right? I mean, that's what we're taught.
Shows bunt again. Kind of surprising he's showing bunt with Connor Alsep in on the artificial turf at third base.
Yeah, if you're trying to give yourself up here, you want to square almost when you get in that box. I mean, it's tough enough to get it down whenever you're square around early.
Throw to first. You know, you can see the sacrifice here because you do have Vadney and DeLong to follow. And those are guys that have
that's your RBI guys, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Vadnais leads, and Monceau is second on the team, but Monceau not in the batting order this afternoon. A ball to strike the count. Infield's at double play depth. Johnson checks the runner. Pitches. Shows bunt way upstairs. Well, some of his misses have been really, really.
They are. They have been. But I will tell you another thing I like about Johnson's the way he kind of controls the base running game, right? I mean, obviously the hitter is your main priority, but even last night I noticed he varies his looks as good as anybody, that we've seen so far this year. Tough to get a good jump off of.
Bunted through it. Might have been a ball 3, and the count now 2-2. And again, it looked like that was bunting for a base hit, not a sacrifice.
Yeah, that was a good pitch to bunt, too, up in the zone. That's the ones you can see really well.
So Johnson now even on the right fielder for Dutchtown, Colin Dupree. Tanner Vadnais is the on-deck hitter. From the belt. It's a little fly ball in the right center field. Let's see, it can be run down. It will be by Cam Patterson. That ball just hung up there. I thought for a minute it might be able to split the gap, but it just hung up. Patterson runs it down easily for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take the bunt off there, right? 2 strikes. You got to let Dupree swing away. Got just a hair underneath it. Little backspin, ball hung up. Real nice for Patterson to make the grab for the first out.
Here's Tanner Vadnais. Tanner leads the Griffins in a lot of offensive categories, including runs scored, home runs, RBIs, sacrifice flies. He popped up to short his first time up. Mayo, the runner at first, now with 1 out. Vadnais shows bunt, pulls it back, pitches outside.
So do you send Mayo here now?
Well, he hasn't really run a whole way. He's got 6 steals.
I mean, we know he's got speed. If you think runs are going to be at a premium.
I think I would roll the dice right here. But then again, I'm not coaching, so.
Well, that's why we're up here.
That's right. Oh, that's a pitcher's pitch right there.
Great pitch. Again, he's just handling that inside part of the plate.
You're right. After you mentioned it, he is working inside as much as any pitcher I've seen this year in high school. And like you said, I mean, you can't have no fear there if you come inside. You have to be committed.
Yep, 100%. You control that inside part of the plate, it just opens so many more doors to get those hitters out.
Mayo dives in safely. A ball and a strike the count. We play in the 4th. This is game 2. Dutchtown won game 1 last night in 10 innings, 3-2. So one more win, they advance to the state tournament in Sulphur. Central trying to win 2 today and go to Sulphur. Foul back. Ooh. Boy, Vadnais got one there.
Love to have that pitch back if you're Vadnais, right? That's a breaking ball up in the zone, one of those cement mixers that don't break very much.
Johnson left that one in the happy zone, and Vadnais missed it. And it's 1-2. And, with a guy the caliber of Johnson, you don't get too many of those.
No, you got to figure you're getting one pitch in at bat to hit, so now you're in complete battle survivor mode.
Yeah, that's a good time to make a pick right there because I would think with a 1-2 count we may see something off speed here.
Yep.
And in the dirt, and you may want to start your runner.
Yep. Everybody's kind of thinking on the same page right there.
Short lead at first. Ground ball, dive, base hit. Mayo's going to pull up at second base. Vadnais kind of stuck the bat out, scoots it into center field, and it's 2 on with 1 out. First time we've had multiple base runners for either team.
Yeah, well, you see that great piece of hit, and like I said, you're in survival protect mode right there. Got a slider on the outside half, hit it right back where it was pitched. Walters playing that double play depth, still couldn't get it right there. I mean, I thought maybe if he's one more step to the right side a little bit, that's probably another tailor-made double play, but Vadnais scoots it past him for the first hit for the Griffins today.
So Dutchtown on the board with a hit. 2 on. Mayo at second base. Vadnais over at first. Here's Will DeLome. And that hit him. Bases are going to be loaded. Tried to start him off with an off-speed pitch and hits him, and Will DeLone is hit for the second time. And, you know, looking at the stats, Mike, he had been hit 11 times coming in, and I was wondering how can that be possible, but he's been hit twice today.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you think about it, he's a big, strong guy, right? He likes to get extended. You get yourself hurt if you're a pitcher. If you're going to live on that outside against DeLone, you have to try to pitch him in. And you, like you said, you can't be scared to go in there. If you miss, you're going to hit him. But if you miss middle away, that's where he can do some damage.
Well, here is Carter Hansberry now. Bases are loaded. There is one out. Infield's going to stay back, although they do move in on the corners. Way up and out of the zone.
Yeah, if you're Hansberry, you're looking for a ball up like you can drive. I mean, he hit into that double play that erased a mini threat, I guess, for the Griffins, his last at bat. But I mean, Dutchtown had this scenario a couple times last night. Bases loaded, runners on second and third, less than, 2 outs, and couldn't punch it across.
1-0 pitch outside. You know, the way these games last night and today are developing, Mike, this is just a huge, huge opportunity for Dutchtown.
Yeah, you just don't know how many you're going to get of these, especially against a pitcher the caliber of Jimmy Johnson out there.
And Johnson wants time out. He wants some help because I think he's saying he just can't grip the ball because he's sweating.
Yeah. I mean, I said that in the first inning. That your jersey's gonna be soaked. I mean, your hat, everything is gonna be dripping down your arms, down to your hands. It's gonna wreak havoc on your feel for that baseball. And like I said, you don't have dirt. You may have some rosin out there. I can't see the rosin bag, but there's no dirt to reach down on that mound as everything is turf here.
Bases are loaded. There is one out in the inning and a 2-0 count on Carter Hansberry, who is DHing this afternoon. Johnson works from the stretch. Outside, ball 3.
Yeah, the ball just a little bit off, probably 6-8 inches. Good pitch, good idea by Johnson. I mean, you don't want to miss inner third or whatever and let Hansberry turn something around down the line. If you want to get beat, you want to get beat with a little single, maybe to the opposite side.
Pours in a strike, and it's 3-1. Mayo, the runner, at third. Vadnais is at second. DeLone over at first. One out in the inning, a 1-0 Central lead, and a 3-1 count on Hansberry. Called strike 2.
He is money on that inside. He is not scared to throw that fastball inside. You are not looking for that 3-1 bases loaded. I'm sorry.
But I thought Hansberry did a good job because that's not a pitch you want to swing at.
Exactly.
Payoff pitch due. Big spot in this game. Fly ball right center field. That's going to get down for a hit. 1 run is in. Here comes Vadnais. He will score. Nobody at second base. It's 2-1. RBI single. Knocks in 2 for Hansberry.
I mean, this guy is so on fire right now. He puts a good at bat every single time he's up. He gets a pitch up in the zone, 3-2. Really good takes, 3-1, 3-0. Doesn't try to do too much, stays inside, shoots a little single, or actually a double ends up at second on the throw there to give the Griffins the lead 2-1. I didn't know if it was going to be a factor, but you saw Walters interfere with DeLone trying to go from second to third there, but all for naught as everybody's safe, and Dutchtown picks up 2 runs.
2 RBI single. He advanced to second on the throw home. Swing and a miss as Pyron chased one well out of the zone.
Hunting that first pitch fastball. Got the lane changer middle away, broke it off the plate. Again, you see the infield in here. Typically, I don't know if it's true, but I've always heard when the infield's in, it raises the hitter's average 100 points. So as a pitcher, I always hated that. But then I had to look back as like I put myself in that position. So, how could I complain?
Oh, 1 the count. DeLone, the runner at third. Hansberry, the runner at second base. What they think about the safety squeeze here? Fly ball left field. That should be deep enough. Left fielder is going to make the catch in fair territory. DeLone is going to try to score. Relay throw to the plate. He's safe. Easterling thought they got the tag, but DeLone dives in safely on a sacrifice fly, and it's 3-1.
Yeah, that was that's a bang bang play right there. You see Will getting off the bag there. Relay. Thought it might try to throw it all the way to the plate there, but actually a really good relay. Throw just a little bit high. DeLone slides in for the Griffins' third run.
Well, got to say, Mike, he ran like an offensive lineman.
Outbound for Dutchtown, second base, number 15, Grant Morrison.
Huge at bat for Pearson. Pyron gets the job done. Hansberry stays at second. This is Grant Morrison now. He becomes the seventh batter of the inning. And I think right there on that pitch, Mike Johnson's getting a little bit frustrated.
A little frustrated, yeah, you're right. Now he's going back to get some more of that towel or whatever they have back there to try his hand off. And, I mean, for the Griffins, you didn't see that last night. They had the threats like that all game long, but just couldn't pick up the big base hit or even that sac fly. They've cashed them all in this inning thus far.
Swing and a miss, and the count now 1-1. Morrison, a strikeout victim. One of two picked up by Jimmy Johnson. Counts now 1-1. 3 runs in the inning. Pitch stays inside, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, you can tell by Johnson's body language just a little bit. He's pretty frustrated.
Big 2-out single by Carter Hansberry. Or 2-run single, I should say. Then a sac fly by Pearson Pyron have plated the 3 runs in this inning, and that's now ball 3. If Morrison gets on, I'm assuming we'll get a coach's visit because, as you said, he does appear to be visibly a little frustrated with things.
Yeah, I thought the pitch selection there was good. 2-1 slider, base open. 2 outs, don't want to give in.
Check the runner. Fouled out of play. Well, from what I understand, Mike, Mark Carroll, a longtime Denham Springs head, the baseball coach, is now the pitching coach at Central. And over the years, watching him with his Central teams, he's one of the best in the state at calling pitches.
You throw 2-1 slider right there. Yeah, it missed, but it also put in Morrison's head. Hey, whoa, he's throwing breaking balls behind in the count. Makes him just a little bit tardy on that 2-1 fastball there.
Here we go with a full count pitch. High ball 4. That did not miss by much, and a good at bat for Grant Morrison. That's the first walk given up by Johnson. And here comes Coach Carroll. He's going to have a talk with his senior right-hander. And it looks like Coach Carroll's got something to say to the home plate umpire. Now the home plate umpire is wanting to know, what are you talking about? And we might have see how you can see him leaning in.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that would be about. There hadn't been any grumblings of any pitches. Maybe the play at the plate. I don't know. Maybe he had a little something to say about that. I'm not real sure. Or maybe just had a question. We'll never know.
Well, there have been 2 hit by pitches in this inning. But a couple of big swings of the bat. Tanner Vadnais had a big at bat, if you recall. After they had retired Colin Dupree on the fly ball to right center field for the first out of the inning, then Vadnais got the single up the middle. Then Will DeLong was hit by the next pitch.
Yeah, you think about that. I mean, you got to know Vadnais's not giving up. Once you get him 1-2, you're still going to throw him the breaking balls. But might have took the wind out of Johnson's sails just a little bit there as he next pitch promptly hit Will DeLong with the next breaking ball.
So this is Caleb Ickes, the 8th batter of the inning. Runners are at first and second. Ickes flied out to left field, his only time up today. Johnson checks the runners. Ooh. Swings and misses, chase the ball, and it's 0-1.
Great pitch right there. Great pitch. I mean, Ickes is looking just unleash or ambush on a first pitch fastball. He starts him off all speed, starts right in the zone, pulls the chute on it, and it never gets there.
Infield back with the 2 outs. Try to check his swing as they back pick.
Great play right there by Schutz.
But that's something out of Lyall McClure coach teams they do. They're going to back pick you. They're going to run pickoff plays.
Absolutely, but he was 6 inches away from Hanbury scoring from it on a wild throw to first base there. Schutz did a great job.
The count now is 0-2 on Ickes. Long look at second base. Now a step back.
Man, Hanbury's got a healthy lead out there at second. It's the exact same lead he has last night as this kind of battle was going on with Hanbury on second and Johnson on the mound. Johnson picked a couple times.
Here's the pitch, a ground ball to third. Long throw across the diamond is in time. Alsep to Schutz. And that'll retire the side, but it is a productive inning for Dutchtown. 3 runs on 2 hits, and they strand a couple of runners. And we're going to move now to the bottom of the 4th with Dutchtown with their first lead of the day at 3-1. And let's take a look at how the Class 5A Ascension Parish teams have reached this point.
We've already touched on how Dutchtown Griffins got to where they are today. So let's take a look at the number 8 Santa Maria Gators, 32-6 in their by-district round. They defeated Chalmette 11-0, and in the regionals, they defeated Live Oak 3-1 and 5-2. 2 pretty good games right there. And in the quarterfinals, we talked about this score already. They defeated Barb 7-4 to take a 1-0 lead in that series. And still no update, but the last update we saw was Barb was up 2-0 after 2.
Well, for the first time today, Landon Monso will go to the bump.
Nathan Monso.
Nathan with the lead.
3-1. Been in there a long time. Got a little rest, maybe cool off a little bit, but we've talked about that with Monso before. That personally, I think that's one of the toughest things to do is sit in the dugout as a pitcher when you're in a groove and your team hit. I mean, you love it. You love your team to score runs, but it's really tough to go back out there with that same focus and intensity to continue what you were doing.
Or trying to look up scores of other quarterfinal games. Nathan Monso back out on the mound. Nathan has given up a 1 run on 2 hits. He's also struck out 2 and retired the last 4 batters he's faced. He'll have his work cut out here because you got Jimmy Johnson, DJ Primo, and Landon Schutz, the first 3 scheduled hitters. Jimmy Johnson drove in the only run today for Central. That came back in the first inning when he had a ground out to short that scored Taylor Walters. Monso's first pitch. It's a called strike. It's 0-1.
Man, it's some of the Wildcats body language. It looked like Johnson didn't like that pitch. Figured maybe he's thrown a couple that he hadn't gotten in that same location.
1-1 to count now. Fouled at the plate, 1-2. And, another thing that's so critical about this game for both, obviously for Central, it's an elimination game. You got Johnson and Monso going against each other. I mean, if you go to a game 3, especially for Dutchtown, who do they call on?
Johnny Holstaff.
2-2 the count.
Both teams.
Well, you would almost think the advantage would go to Central, because they've still got Graydon Harris. Over the head, Morrison charges. Morrison throws him out. I thought once Monso couldn't field it, maybe Johnson had a chance, but Morrison makes the play for the first out.
Yeah, just a little high chopper, not hit that hard by Johnson. Morrison makes a good play, charges it the whole way, gets a good hop. Does have to throw across his body, but accurate to the lawn for the first out.
One thing that Monso has been able to do is DJ Primo struck out his only time up today. Swings and misses here. He's been able to stay away from the barrel.
Yeah, so far he has. I mean, inside, outside, change speeds, up, down, eye levels.
And as we say that, Primo, who is a very good hitter and pitcher, gets a base hit to right field for the third hit of the day for Central.
Yeah, ball down in the zone. Primo likes that, just drops the head on it. Squeaks it right between first base and second base there for a base hit. But, I mean, like, I think Monso kind of has the mindset, hey, I'm not trying to pitch away from the bat per se, but just try to pitch away from the barrel.
Number 7, Landon Schultz.
Leo McClure coaches at third base, the head coach. The pitching coach, Mark Carroll, is the first base coach for Central. Well, that's a lot of years of coaching experience
Yes,
for those two on the bases.
No doubt.
So here is Landon Schultz. First pitch misses outside for a ball. Schultz flied out to Reuben Williams in center field, his only time up. Dutchtown leads 3-1 as we play in the fourth. Popped him up. This will be in the infield. And Grant Morrison will squeeze for the second out. Wherever you may be watching on our live stream this afternoon, glad you could join us. We know that there are a lot of high school baseball fans throughout the state of Louisiana following these quarterfinal matchups. You got one going on in West Monroe, the one in Barb, also another one in Sulphur, and this one here at Dutchtown. The 4 winners are all going to advance to Sulphur. With 2 away, the batter is Caleb Easterling, the catcher. Caleb struck out his only time up. Boy, first pitch of the game, he took a foul ball off the knee. And he takes a dandy enticing curveball for a called strike.
Yeah, we talked about it's probably pretty stiff. I mean, as you know, he'll probably keep it as loose as he can, squatting down, standing up, even, you know, when he's hitting. But tomorrow that thing is probably going to be super tight.
Fouled out of play on a pretty good swing right there by Easterling.
Yeah, got a fastball he liked, just about outer third. Pulled off maybe a hair.
So quickly now, Easterling in the hole at 0-2. Not much breeze blowing, a little bit of cloud cover as we play in the fourth. There goes the runner, and a ground ball base hit. Good dig by Morrison at second. Primo slid in, but he's going to make it into third base, and a great piece of hitting by Easterling to take an 0-2 pitch into right field for a base hit.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's actually a really good pitch by Monso. It's kind of what you want it to be competitive, but even better job of hitting by Easterling right there, going out there and punching that ball right past a diving Will DeLon. Now the Wildcats have a nice little threat with runners at first and third.
Now batting second baseman number 14.
So we're going to get a courtesy runner, and that is going to be Blaze Gregoire, a sophomore. So Gregoire will be the courtesy runner. And this becomes a big batter now in this ball game because you got first and third. You have 2 outs in the inning as we play in the fourth. And a 2-run lead for Dutchtown. 1 out single by Primo, 2 out single by Easterling, has them on the corners.
Yeah, if you're the Wildcats here, looking for that big 2-out hit, try to at least push one across the board here. And if you're the Griffins, you want to shut it down right here, keep that 2-run cushion.
Juneau takes a pitch for a ball. He has one of the 4 hits today for Central. Got a 2-out single back in the second inning. Check the runners. Missed, ball 2, 2-0. I think he should make that Monso maybe a little unsure after that 2-0-2 pitch. That Easterling poked in the right field. Popped it up. Reuben Williams is going to drift a little to his left. Reuben says, I'll take it, and he does. And the threat has been shut down. So a couple of hits, 2 runners are left. Central has left 3. We're now through 4. It's on to the 5th. Dutchtown on top, 3-1 here on the REV Game of the Week.
The Athletic training staff of Dutchtown High School would like to thank SEC Heating and Cooling, Hollis Orthodontics, Tata Law Firm, Raising Cane's in Prairieville, Ross Downing GMC, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation for their support of our sports medicine program.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility, moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ETEL, and Vision are now REV. New name, same company.
Welcome back to Griffin Park quarterfinals between Dutchtown and Central. Big out for here we go with Landon Nathan Marceau and the Dutchtown Griffins on that fly out to center field, and Reuben Williams, who caught that third out, is going to lead it off. It'll be Williams, Mayo, and Dupree. Dutchtown just put up a 3-spot on Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, I think you're getting Landon Marceau, the ex-LSU pitcher.
That's it.
Mixed up with Nathan Monso, who
there
we're watching
go.
today.
Boy, you imagine if you could combine those two. That's what I'm trying to do.
Exactly.
And a called strike on Reuben Williams, who flied out to center field his only time up to Cam Patterson.
We do have an update from the Barb Sandoval game. Still 2-0 through 4 innings.
This ball smoked in the left center field by Reuben Williams. Boy, he put a nice swing on that pitch from Jimmy Johnson, and that's a leadoff single. And you talk about speed. Reuben leads the Griffins with 16 steals on the year. He had over 30 a year ago as a junior.
Yeah, and that's what you're looking for if you're the Griffins. Reuben Williams on the base path is, I mean, he's chaos is what he is. I mean, he's that he's mayhem, that commercial that we talk about. And I'm sure we'll see some picks and some plays put on here, but I can promise you Reuben's going to try to steal a bag here.
That's now the third hit, all coming in the last inning plus. Off of the right-hander Jimmy Johnson. Big lead by Williams at first. Not going. Mayo tries to push bunt and fouls it off.
Yeah, it should be an interesting matchup between Williams and Johnson here. I think Johnson holds runners very well. Very well. Even if you don't throw over, you see how he just freezes right there. I mean, if you're a base runner, you're trying to time it, and you I don't know, it's like you're in go mode, but then you kind of get worn out. You feel your legs, starting to burn a little bit, and then you kind of call the dogs off. And sometimes, like I said, you don't even have to throw. Just that hold by Johnson does the job.
I agree with you. That's all part of Leo McClure's game, though. He loves to play that inside game on defense. Mayo shows bunt right now, and now the snap throw to first. They're going to do all they can to keep Williams as close as possible because he is going to be a challenge for Easterling to try to throw out.
Yeah, you see Mayo squaring early there, looking to give himself up. Third baseman Alsep way in on the grass.
Wow. That went over the head of Mayo.
That might have been behind him.
Yeah, I think it was behind him.
Yikes. That's scary. It would have scared me, actually, if I'm squared around all the way and one's coming right at my face.
Johnson has already hit 3 batters today. And that's a good bunt. Johnson's going to field it, throw it to first. And Williams went too far around second base, and they get a double play. What a huge play as Williams got greedy, and it's going to cost a base runner for Dutchtown.
Yeah, you see, great bunt by Ethan right there. Mayo, he did exactly what he was supposed to do. Great play by Johnson. Throws him out at first base. But what Reuben saw was when Alsep, the third baseman, came in, as soon as Jimmy Johnson fielded that ball, Alsep busted it back to third base, and Reuben didn't think he was going to get back there, and that's how he kind of got caught in between there.
Well, what had a whole lot of potential quickly is 2 away and no base runners, and the batter Colin Dupree. And that'll be a called strike. Little surprised that they didn't get the run game going there.
Yeah.
They elected to try to bunt him over. And they did work, but Reuben trying to maybe get that extra 90 feet. 1-1 the count. Boy, also what that does is that helps Jimmy Johnson's pitch count.
Absolutely it does, and it helps in a little momentum right there. You got a man on Reuben, as a matter of, the guy that you don't want on base.
Right.
You erase him and get 2 outs.
Pitch outside as Uesterling tried to frame that pitch up. Johnson has his sign, ready to work. Checks his swing. Pitches inside. And the count's going to go to 3-1.
See Johnson with a little grin right there. I'm not sure if he thought that should have been a called strike or maybe Dupree might have went a little bit too far.
And that's ball 4. So, another base runner. Second walk issued by Johnson. Dutchtown has had, for as few hits as they've had today, they've had their share of base runners.
Yeah, and that's kind of how it was last night. I mean, you see that 6-inning drought between both teams where nobody pushed a run across the base. And then the first actual real threat Dutchtown had tonight, they cashed in 3 runs. So they have had base runners in these 2 games. They've really just only cashed in like you're supposed to in one of those innings.
But 2 hit batters make it 3 hit batters and 2 walks. That's 5 base runners alone. Here's Tanner Vadnais. Runner goes on a pitch in the dirt. The throw down is not going to be in time, and not real sure why Dupree wasn't busting it down to second base, but he makes it safely with a steal.
Yeah, probably saw the ball in the dirt, but then kind of took his eye off on it. He didn't know Easternly picked that ball. Easily could have been thrown out right there.
But that's another one where, with there being no dirt at home plate, you're going to get a true hop as a catcher.
Absolutely.
And that's what Easterling did. He basically backhanded it like an infielder. 1-0 the count to Vadnais. That's a called strike. Vadnais has popped to shortstop. Actually out in shallow left field and had a single and scored back in the 4th inning. Griffins lead 3-1. Got a runner at second base. There's 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Vadnais, the RBI leader for the Griffins. 2-1 the count. You would think a base hit here would score Dupree from second base.
Yeah, for sure you would. And then, I mean, if you're Johnson right here, base open, you're battling against the Griffins RBI leader right here. Do you give in, or are you going to try to get him maybe to hit your pitch, something a little off the plate, maybe with some movement, some breaking balls or something?
Got him to pop it up in the right center field. And the ball gets by as a collision between Primo and the center fielder Patterson. Vadnais heading to third. He dives. He's safe. And I'm not sure what happened out in right center field, but that's going to plate a run, and it's 4-1. Let's see if we've got the replay, because I think Primo got a glove on it. But then the collision occurred, as there you see right there toward the end.
I'm going to tell you what, that ball, I mean, Vadnais, it looked like it was off the end of the bat just a little bit, but that ball carried, as you saw Patterson and both Patterson and Primo. We'll take another look at it here. That ball carries, but they were both on their horses. And, yeah, it looked like Primo may have gotten a glove on it, and Patterson just kind of undercut him there.
That's got to go as a double.
Double, and, yeah, I don't.
DeLone pops it up. Should be a lot easier in right field for Primo. And he is going to squeeze it. But a 2-out hit by Vadnais. 1 run will score on 2 hits. A runner will be left. Dutchtown has now left 3, and we're going to go to the bottom of the 5th. The Griffins now stretch their lead to 4-1 as we take a look at how Dutchtown has done in the last 5 years in the postseason.
Yeah, I mean, you can see there that this year, obviously, they've come into this year's playoff matchups ranked number 3. Last year, 21, they made a really good run, into the quarterfinals, coming in at 13. 2020, obviously shut down because of COVID. And in 19, they had made it, didn't make it through the by-district rounds, and in 18, they made it back to the quarterfinals. So this is the third quarterfinals they have seen in the last 5 years, minus the COVID year loss.
So pretty good little streak going.
Soles are melting on his shoes. It's so hot. The heat's getting to the...
You see the umpire there checking the bottom of his shoes. That means that turf is pretty hot. Maybe getting a little melted or a little gummy feeling down there.
I mean, I don't know, Mike. Let's just go ahead and say it. I almost feel guilty because we're in an air-conditioned press box. What can you say?
We only have 4 units up here pumping on us.
Big inning right now for Nathan Monso because he's got 8, 9, and 1 due up. Obviously, the job for the bottom of the order for Central is try to set the table. And a swing and a foul by Connor Alsep. Alsep has bounced to third today. Right now, Central's got to get some base runners on. As they trail 4-1, it's getting late. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Monso's curveball a dandy. It's 0-2. Cam Patterson and Jude Grimion are going to follow here in the Wildcat 5th. This is going to be fouled out of play.
Not so rare backing through that. I don't think he was thinking location on that when you saw him get a little bit aggressive trying to throw some cross-seam gas and get it by Alsep there. But Alsep, nice job of staying alive and fouling that ball off.
I know we're in an enclosed press box, so you're not getting a real good sound, but I was a little bit surprised at how far Vadnais' ball carried. I thought it was going to hang up, and then all of a sudden it just kind of split the gap. As we now look at another 0-2 pitch down and away, and I thought the ball off of DeLone's bat was just an infield pop-up.
Exactly.
And it carried all the way out to right field.
Yeah, Vadnais' ball I thought was kind of off the end of the bat, but I looked at Patterson and Primo, and they were both on their horse trying to get to it.
Foul ball. I believe that might have got a piece of Vicky. And the count 1-2. Yeah, it is. He's kind of shaking that right wing right now. The life of a catcher.
Worry about it tomorrow. Ice tonight, worry about it tomorrow. That's kind of their motto, right?
1-2 pitch. Foul ball. Got a lot of football players playing baseball on this Dutchtown team. Ickey's behind the plate. Vadnais at third. Pearson Pyron the shortstop. DeLone over at first base. And it hit him. Pretty much the last thing you want to do if you're Monso in that situation on a 1-2 pitch. And you could see as soon as he released it, he knew he had made a mistake. And Alsep takes one for the team and a leadoff base runner.
Yeah, but I mean, exactly. If you're the Wildcats, it's exactly what you want. You mentioned they're trying to get some base runners, set the table for the flip, back to the top side of that lineup. Alsep did just that, fouling off a couple nice 0-2, 1-2 pitches. Let Monto make the mistake there.
Yeah, he had the 8-hitter down 0-2. So the batter now, Cam Patterson, he's bounced to short his only time up today. First pitch. That could be a double play ball. Pyron flips it. Morrison, it's not going to be in time. I believe Pearson might have been better off just taking out himself.
I agree.
As it is, they do get the lead runner.
Yeah, he fielded that aggressively. I thought he was just going to take one step and touch the base there. Would have had a little bit more momentum going towards first, a little bit stronger throw than Morrison had, as you see. Just a little bit tardy to try to get that second out of that double play.
Yeah, well, as close as they were, Morrison just had no chance to get anything on the throw. And able to beat the rap was Cam Patterson. Here's Jude Grimion. Pitch down and away, 1-0. Jude today has bounced to short and flied to right. Patterson, the base runner at first. He is there with one out and almost caught him leaning. Dutchtown has their biggest lead at the moment at 4-1. Monso checks the runner. That's a nice curveball. It's 1-1. Another play, pickoff attempt at first. 80.
Just letting him know he's thinking about him over there.
88 degrees, heat index showing 93 out here at the ballpark.
Temperature's rising.
Little slow roller towards second base. Morrison Fields gets the shirt out at first, and on the play heading to second is Patterson. He will now be there with 2 outs.
Yeah, good play right there by Morrison. Know your head, know you're up a couple, 2-3 runs. Don't try to do anything crazy. Ball hit not quite hard enough to turn that double play. Just make sure you get an out. I mean, if you're the Griffins, you're starting to count down outs, right?
But, the thing watching that ground ball unfold from up here, it's just amazing to me the true hops you get because that ball never did not – it just was like a little –
no threat.
No threat. It was like a little rubber ball, just true hop, hop right there.
Yep. No threat of a bad hop ball staying down on you or taking that last little super ball hop up over your head.
This is Taylor Walters. He has scored Central's run. That came back in the very first inning when he hit a 1-out triple and scored on Jimmy Johnson's RBI ground out.
Still the hardest ball we've seen hit, I think, so far.
I agree.
From yesterday, I don't know, Primo turned the ball around his first at-bat yesterday, hit it pretty hard, but Walters –
he gets under this one, and in right field making the call is going to be Colin Dupree, and Dupree, just in fair territory, will make the catch, and a big out of Taylor Walters, and that will retire Central as they strand a runner. They've now left 4. We've got 5 in the books. This is game 2, best of 3. Dutchtown wins this game. They advance to the final 4. After 5, Griffins on top, 4-1.
From jambalaya, pastalaya, and gumbo to daily lunch specials, Pot and Paddle Jambalaya Kitchen has Cajun dishes to satisfy your hunger. Pot and Paddle has 3 locations to serve you, including the one on Cabela's Parkway in Gonzales, Jefferson Highway near Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, and Jubin Crossing in Denham Springs. You can dine in, carry out, or let them do the catering for an office get-together or tailgating at the big game. And don't forget about their delicious daily lunch specials. You can check out their specials and more on the web at potandpaddle.com.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility, moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ETEL, and Vision are now REV. New name, same company.
Along with Mike Mohler, I'm Lyall Boudreaux. Welcome back. On to the 6th inning we go. And, Mike, we got some updates of quarterfinal games going on around the state. What about the other 3 games?
Yeah, so Sulphur's up 3-2, and they are, I think, through 4 complete. And then Sam Houston.
And Sulphur leads 1-0.
Yes, they do. And then Sam Houston is up actually on West Monroe 2-1 after 5, and West Monroe leads that series 1-0. Sandomal is still 2-0 with Sandomal leading that series 1-0.
So it'll be Carter Hanbury, Pearson Pyron, Grant Morrison, the first 3 scheduled hitters here in the 6th. Carter's got the big swing of the day, a 2-run single. And the first pitch is hit him. And that is the 4th hit batter today by Jimmy Johnson.
Man, but that's just the chance you take when you like to. I didn't see that one. Was that a breaking ball or fastball? I'm assuming fastball, but he likes to pitch inside. That's just a chance you have to take. The risk reward is a little bit less than if you try to stay out over the plate of hitting those hitters.
Here's Pearson Pyron, 0 for 1 officially today. Did have a sacrifice fly back in the 4th inning when he scored the speedy Will DeLone. Shows bunts it foul. I know one thing, if Dutchtown can advance to the state tournament, the first thing I would do at our next practice is practice bunting.
Square early.
I would practice a lot of bunting because they have had opportunities today.
Yep. Last night as well.
Did they really?
Yeah. Yep.
Hansberry takes his lead at first base, has good speed. Show bunt again, and that hit him. Leo McClure is going to come out and have a talk with the home plate umpire.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, he threw that one right at him. Like, I don't know what he thinks. That's definitely not a bunt attempt. I see Johnson a little frustrated on the mound with that call as well.
Yeah, he just threw the towel down behind the mound as runners are at first and second. Couple of hit batters. That is now 5 hit batters in this ball game. As you see, Coach Leo McClure talking with the home plate umpire. Gets his say in. That last inning was a 14-pitch inning for Monso.
Put the bunt on again here.
So Dutchtown with a chance right now to try to add some runs to this 4-1 lead. 2 on, nobody out. Here's Grant Morrison, 0 for 1 officially with a walk. He shows bunt. Takes a pitch for a strike. It's 0-1. They're charging hard at first base. Landon shoots. The third baseman, Connor Alsep, was staying home.
Yeah, actually a good pitch right there by Johnson. You want him to bunt with the first baseman charging. You want to get him to bunt that ball to that side if you can.
So 0-1, look at the runners. Check of the runners. And bunted foul. And quickly it's 0-2. You know, and right now, especially, you got a frustrated pitcher because you almost want to make him have to field it.
Right. Yeah.
Hansberry hit by a pitch is at second. Pyron hit by a pitch is at first. Morrison has an 0-2 count now. Caleb Ickes is the on-deck hitter. Long look at the runners. Foul back.
Ooh, got a good pitch to hit there.
Yeah, Morrison was sitting back waiting and took a good rip at it, fouled it back.
0-2. Johnson probably wanted to start that a little more middle and let it eat down out of the zone. Flew open just a hair and left that inside for the take, and Morrison just fouls it off.
We're playing in the 6th. That almost hit him. Morrison backs out of the way. Well, I tell you what, you said it early on in this telecast. Johnson is not afraid to work in.
No. And Morrison's probably kicking himself now. He probably could have stood in there and took that one for a third hit by pitch in a row.
1-2 count. Check the runners. Threw it in the dirt. Good jump and read by Hansberry as both runners are going to advance. And even though he's hit 5 batters today, Mike, that's his first wild pitch of the afternoon.
Yeah, and that goes, I mean, we've seen a lot of balls in the dirt. He's gotten some swings at a lot of those pitches, but Easterling back there has blocked every single one of them. He's done a good job.
And Coach Mark Carroll now is going to make the slow walk out to the mound. Oh, they're going to pull him. Jimmy Johnson's going to come out of the ball game. So Johnson, well, I say out of the ball game, he's going to leave the mound. He normally plays third base. And this is the left-hander from yesterday. See, this is number 16 here.
Yeah, it's Landon.
Graydon Harris.
Oh, Graydon, I'm sorry.
You
got Landon. You got Landon in my head. Everybody's Landon.
Yeah, we're going to go with Graydon Harris.
There we go.
So he's the young man that came in yesterday.
And threw it well.
That impressed you.
Very impressed with this kid yesterday.
Number 16, Graydon Harris.
But I'll tell you what else it also does is I write his name down. Also, this is going to affect a Game 3 if there is a Game 3.
Yeah.
Because Harris was going to be their guy to go the distance in that game.
Yeah, very impressed with Harris last night. Came in a crucial situation. I mean, big game. Just a sophomore, this guy, right, Harris?
Yep, he is a sophomore.
Yeah, I mean, just Great mentality. Didn't shy away from the environment at all. Pumped strikes and threw up 3 goose eggs, I think. 2 for sure.
Of course.
2 or 3 innings.
If you are Central right now, you cannot afford to give up any more runs.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you get to this level of the playoffs and the caliber of the teams, on both sides, I mean, if Dutchtown would be 4-1, it'd be a tall task to come back, just like it is for the Wildcats right now.
Also, a good buddy of mine watching in Livingston Parish live as we live stream, Robert Graves, just texted me that he thinks Jimmy Johnson was also at his pitch count.
Okay.
He could have finished the batter, however, but he was right at that pitch count, so that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it does. It does. He did have a lot of high pitch at bats. A couple of battles just worked a little behind the hitters a little more than he wanted to today, I'm sure.
So here is Grayson Harris's first pitch, and that's inside. And that's going to run the count now to 3-2. Tough spot for this sophomore. Runners at second and third, infield in, there's nobody out. Oh, called strike 3. Morrison threw the bat away thinking it was ball 4, but that's a strikeout. And that'll go for Harrison under his Harris under his card.
Yeah, tough one right there. I'd have to agree with Morrison. I thought that ball was a good bit off the inside part of the plate there. But to no avail.
Here is Caleb Ickes with the infield still in. Runners at second and third. Called strike. Boy, Harris, he is just pumping them in.
He just comes in and does his job. No fear. I love it.
Big opportunity for the Griffins right here, leading 4-1. Runners at second and third with 1 out. Swinging at a pitch in the dirt, it's 0-2.
Good slider right there. Had Ickes looking out for that fastball. Great job by Easterling back there, too. That ball bit late. I mean, that was fastball 3/4 of the way there with some late bite. See Easterling slide over, block that ball, and save that extra run.
Hansberry at third, Pearson at Pyron at second, and a good job by Ickes to foul it back. Reuben Williams is on deck. Couple of hit batters to start the inning, and then a wild pitch. They're now at second and third with 1 out in the inning and a 1-2 count on Caleb Ickes. Working out of the stretch is Harris. Foul ball, Ickes hanging in there. Boy, you just sense right here, Mike, that a base hit could maybe just about ice it. Although you say ice it on a day like today for the people out here watching this ball game in the heat. But it would just be so huge.
Yeah, Dutchtown would love to pick up these extra 2 runs here, but if you're Central, I mean, if Harris can shut it down and not let them score at all, yeah, great block again. I mean, he's kind of going unsung back there, has Easterly today, because there's been a lot of balls down out of the zone that he's just blocked and made them look really easy. But again, saves a run. And what I was going to say is that, I mean, if Harris gets out of this jam, actually get a little momentum going into the offensive side for the Wildcats.
Correct. Next pitch. Fly ball. This should score a run. Primo going back on it. Primo's going to get there. Tagging and scoring is going to be Hansberry, and what an at-bat by Ickes, down 0-2 in the count, and he gets the sacrifice fly, and it's 5-1.
Right, excellent job by Ickes right there. Battle. We saw him foul off some really tough pitches. Again, Harris he's throwing everything at him, but the kitchen sink making some really good pitches. Ickes gets a ball just a little bit up in the zone and does his job with that deep fly ball to right field.
It's going to bring up Reuben Williams now. Reuben got a base hit his last time up. He is 1 for 2. Also flied out to center field today. So those hit batters come back to cost Central a run. And it's now 5-1. Pyron did tag from second and advanced to third on the sacrifice fly. Williams fouls this off to the right side. And the count 1-1 on the senior center fielder for the Griffins.
Wouldn't surprise me at all if Ruben tried to push this bunt. You see the first baseman shoots playing way back. Oh, now he's inching in a little bit.
Chase the ball, and it's 1-2. Well, Ruben got a very nice hit back up the middle his last time up. Griffins have plated a run in the inning without benefit of a hit. There's a hit, and we talked about those 2 runs would be huge. They have both scored, and it is now 6-1 on the second hit of the day for Ruben Williams, as he has now knocked in his 10th run of the year.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't need to push that bunt down there. Gets the ball down in the zone, drops the head on it 0-2, just trying to protect mode. Scoots that ball right to that 6 hole. Picks up an RBI and gets himself on the base path where he can be trouble.
You know, feeding off of something that you said, Mike, those first 2 pitches that Grayson Harris threw when he came in the Ickies, and you had talked about how impressed you were with him last night as Williams got a huge lead at first. Now Harris steps off. I thought he might just mow down the next 2 hitters, and you've had some good at-bats from Ickies and now Williams, haven't you?
Yeah, you have, and maybe you saw him once or twice last night. Maybe, you know, he's got a nice little visual, some of these guys, like I'm saying, and it's not brand new. It was fresh last night. Haven't seen him, you know, unless he threw in the game earlier in the season against him. But maybe that second or third look that these Griffins are getting at Harris right now, maybe that's kind of holding true.
Ethan Mayo. Now they'll pick over to first. You know, a big part of this ball game, too, let's go back to the 5th inning. When Ruben Williams led off with that hit, then Mayo laid down that bunt, sacrifice bunt, and Ruben got picked off at second. But they still came back and scored a run. Now they've added 2 more here, so they stole the momentum back, I should say, after Ruben got picked off. Now he's picked off again. They're going to have to hurry. They throw it down, and they're going to get him as he will be picked off. That pickoff will go 1-3 to 6. And that'll be the 3rd out of the inning, but 2 runs score on 1 hit. We're going to move on now to the bottom of the 6th inning with Dutchtown on top 6-1 as you see the tag on Ruben Williams. And the bottom of the 6th is up next. This Central Ball Club has had a very good baseball tradition. Dutchtown, early on, their 2nd year of the school playing baseball, won a state championship. Central has won a number of baseball championships as we take a look at that.
Yeah, as you see there, in you see the Griffins in 04 we talked about, but that was the 5A, and then the Central Wildcats 78, 92, 93, 94, 95. So 4 straight for the Wildcats, and then again in 2017 and 18. So, I mean, pretty much in the early 90s, Wildcats dominated 4A baseball, and then, you know, we know Santa Maria just across the airline was dominating 5A baseball at that time as well.
And what I also find interesting is that when you look at 2017 and 2018, Central won state championships. You know, everybody thinks Barb, and you got Central mixed up in there.
Yeah, I mean, that was the Mikael Hilliard days. Remember the matchup we saw between he and Blaine Inlow at Santa Maria? You know, he pitched them to a state championship that year.
The winner, if Dutchtown can hold on and protect this 6-1 lead in advance, they will play on the 12th of March, would be their next game in a semifinal. It'll be at 6 o'clock on field number 40, McMurtry Park in Sulphur. We got some more updates coming in. We'll pass those along to you as we're live streaming from Griffin Park. Bottom of the 6th, it'll be the heart of the order, Jimmy Johnson, DJ Primo, and Landon Schutz, as this will be for Nathan Monso. This will be a big challenge for him in this 6th inning as he tries to protect this 5-run lead at the heart of the order.
Yeah, the only change we have so far is that West Monroe has tied it up with Sam Houston in there in the middle of the 5th inning there. Sulphur still 3-2 over Zachary in the top of the 5th, and then Barb still 4-0 over Santa Maria after 5 complete.
This ball is going to be fouled off the bat of Jimmy Johnson. Johnson has an RBI ground out. He's actually grounded out twice today. His first ground out plated the only run for Central. He's bounced out to short and to second. He leads off here in the sixth. It's now a 6-1 lead for the Griffins. Boy, what a pitch by Monso. What a pitch. And that's the first out of the inning and only the third strikeout for Monso.
And if you're Monso, I mean, that's exactly what you want. You want to try to be as efficient with your pitches towards the end of this game now that the Wildcats are down to 5 outs. Going to try to make quick work if you can.
Boy, Primo got just a little out in front of that pitch, fouled it off. DJ Primo has struck out and laced a single in the right field.
Yeah, he's hit some pretty hard balls. He's got the barrel to him a couple times. I know he struck out once today, but last night he barreled some balls as well.
Just a good-looking player. Pitcher, right fielder, hitter. 0-1 pitch. He took that like a good hitter.
Yeah, he did. I mean, that's a pitch that a lefty just salivates over, right? That pitch down and in that they can drop the head. That's their go zone. He just took it like a champ.
Monso hit the deck. I wonder how often they have to eventually replace the turf on the mound.
I don't know. I don't even know how they work on those. I mean, I've
right,
never pitched on one in my life. I don't know. Do you just add some more rubber pellets and sweep it in there to fluff it back up or something? I don't even know.
1-2 pitch. Ground ball. Second baseman's got it. Race to the bag. Oh, they call him safe, and Monso beat him.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
See if we can see that again. Great play by Morrison, never giving up on it. DeLon just misses it. I don't know. It's bang, bang.
So that'll go as an infield single. I just thought that Monso had the angle and just got there first, but
umpire's right there. I mean, he had a good look at it.
That's going to be the second hit for Primo. And the fourth hit for Central. This is Landon Schultz. He's popped up twice today. Ball one. Make that 5 hits on the day for Central. Primo has 2 of those 5. 1-1 to count. Caleb Easterling is on deck.
Slowed him down and sped him up. Looked like he let him off that changeup just down out of the zone. Came back with a fastball. Was going to look just a little bit more heated after that changeup.
Grounded foul, and it's 1-2. A little bit of cloud cover right now, and boy, you know, on a day like today when you're out, much appreciated, isn't it?
And I'm looking, you think cloud cover, you know, give us a little break, but sometimes that just makes it a little more steamy. You know, get some of that precipitation up there, makes it more humid.
1-2. Oh, tried to check his swing. They call that nowadays, Mike, they call that a sword. Yep.
Okay.
The pitching ninja, I think, or whatever they call it, because the half swing, it's like a sword when you strike out.
Okay, I thought maybe you made that up.
No.
That's a real thing, huh?
No.
Okay, I'm going to have to, I'm slacking.
No. As they say, my friend, Google it when you get home.
Phone a friend, right? Google?
Yeah.
He knows everything. The sword. I'm going to use that again, so do I need to footnote that, or I can just use it whatever?
You're okay. You're okay.
All right.
Caleb Easterling now the batter. He's 1 for 2 today. But I got to believe right now, Mike, and you've been in these shoes before, I think he's feeling it on the mound. Monso I'm talking about.
Yes, he is. He's had the same tempo all day, just pounding the zone and up, down, changing speeds. Just making at bats uncomfortable for the Wildcats.
Almost had another sword right there. Check the swing.
Hey, we can't overuse it, right, though? I mean, can you use it twice in 2 at bats?
Just trying to give you an example.
Okay.
No, there's a couple Twitter accounts where that's all they show.
Maybe I ought to delve into some social media every now and then, huh?
Monso checks Primo over at first. High chopper. Vadney. DeLone. And that will retire the side. We're through 6. Dutchtown is 3 outs away. We head to the 6th. Griffins are on top 6-1 here on the REV Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of Dutchtown High School would like to thank SEC Heating and Cooling, Hollis Orthodontics, Tata Law Firm, Raising Cane's in Prairieville, Ross Downing GMC, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation for their support of our sports medicine program.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility, moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ATEL, and Vision are now REV. New name, same company.
Well, this best-of-3 quarterfinal series has moved on to Game 7 in Game 2, or Inning 7 in Game 2. And right now, Dutchtown, it's looking pretty good. As you can see, the on-deck hitter, top of the order, Ethan Mayo, Colin Dupree, Tanner Vadney. And, you know, Mike, when you take a look at it, Primo yesterday, Jimmy Johnson today, a couple of pretty good lefties and righties that Central has thrown at Dutchtown so far in this series.
Yeah, and we've seen it against. They've faced a bunch of good pitchers like that. The Griffins had this year. I mean, you talk about the Santa Ma's two-headed monster with Myers and Moran, and I mean, Dutchtown's 2 pitchers between Monso and Gisclair. They kind of go flying under the radar, I guess, when you talk about, these teams with these 2 really good pitchers, but they just do their job, man. They give their team a chance to win. They stay in the game. And that's kind of what's been successful for them.
So here is Ethan Mayo. He is officially 0 for 1 today. Was also hit by a pitch, scored in the 4th, got a sac bunt down in the 5th, takes a pitch down and in for a ball. One thing I've noticed, and I think I've seen Dutchtown now 3 times, maybe 4 in person, even when they don't succeed at the plate, they take good swings.
Yeah.
They have good at-bats.
Good at-bats, good approaches, discipline.
You talked about Myers. You talked about Moran. We talked about Primo. We talked about Johnson. They've had good swings, good at-bats.
Yep, you're right. They go up there with a plan. I mean, they're just,
Yes.
They're not going up there thinking about everything or whatever. They have a plan and they stick to it. That's why you don't see that many bad swings and misses, or I shouldn't say that many bad actual at bats from them.
Correct.
That's a good pitch. Not sure where that one missed.
To the home plate umpire's credit, that's one of the few pitches today that I thought, it's like, where was that at?
Yeah, must have been down. I mean, it got a lot of the plate.
2-1. Number back to the mound. Harris is going to field. He's going to do the underhand flip to first. To Landon Schutz, and that's the first out of the 7th.
Yeah, again, Harris, I'm telling you, this kid, he can throw the baseball. I mean, 3-1 right there. Just as a hitter, you're looking to yank, right? I mean, it's hard to get beat on a 3-1 pitch inside, and that's how he did. That's how he just pitched Mayo right there. A little weak ground ball back to him for the first out.
Yeah, well, the big 3 pitch, Mayo, Primo, Johnson, and Harris last night, and you were telling me that Harris probably impressed you the most, as this is Colin Dupree takes one inside for ball 1.
Yeah, and I just think about the sophomore, label on him. I mean, even with Ruben on first base, everybody in America knows he's trying to steal, right? No panic. changes up his times, make a good little pick-off move, gets Ruben thrown out at second base.
Yeah, he's got a good live arm for a 10th grader. 1-1 the count to Dupree. Another little comebacker. Fields his position, steps and throws. 2 up, 2 down for the Griffins. Let's look ahead for Central. They're going to have 7, 8, and 9 due up. So bottom 3 in the order for Nathan Monso to go to work against. He'll have at least a 5-run lead.
Yeah, I think Monso, as opposed to Johnson, I think Monso's pitch count has been kept to a minimum for the most part. I think even, just a little over 60 pitches, maybe 70 after that last inning.
Well, he hasn't walked anybody, as this is Tanner Vadnais, takes a pitch outside. And he has hit 1, so only 1 hit batter, 1 issued. And he's given up 5 hits. So the base runners have been at a minimum for Central today. 2-0 now the count.
Yeah, when you don't walk people and you pitch ahead, you're going to keep your pitch count down for sure. I mean, I haven't never won the Fields medal, but in math, but you can kind of figure that out.
2-0 pitch, gets a corner, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Dutchtown 3 outs away from advancing to the 5A state tournament in Sulphur. Ball 3. The winner of this series is going to be matched up with the winner of the West Monroe Sam Houston series. Ball 4, that'll be a walk. And that'll bring up Will DeLone. That's the first walk issued by Grayson Harris. And it was almost there, like they just pitched around that night.
Yeah, and he stayed away. I'm not sure if that was just kind of fly open, missing away, or maybe that was kind of the plan.
Well, Will has had an interesting day. He's been hit by a pitch twice and flied out to right field. Well, the first time he was hit by a pitch, he was, as they say, conked on the coconut. Took it right off the helmet, dropped the bat, ran to first. I guess when you play offensive line in football.
Probably been hit a lot harder than that, right?
Yeah. I can think of a few teams Dutchtown played this past year that probably might have been dinged a little more than that. Next pitch, that's a dandy right there. That's a pitcher's pitch. 1-1 the count. Vadnais the runner at first. We are in the 7th. Griffin's trying to nail this one down. You know, they did what they had to do last night. They threw Gisclair for 7 innings, and then they had to burn Jace Bennett, who I guess basically would be their number 3 guy. He went 3 innings last night and threw over the pitch limit, which would allow him to pitch today, so he's unavailable today. So, I mean, that was a whole lot of pressure on Monso today in this game, too, because they were going to have to go to the whole staff, and they were going to have to go to some guys that did not throw a pitch in the playoffs for a Game 3 if necessary. And, that's assuming, of course, it's still a 6-1 ball game as this ball eats up the third baseman. That ball was a tough play for Connor Alsep.
I don't know if that's a hit or an error right there. That ball is an absolute rocket. Kind of got that in between hot. Let's check it out again here. I don't know. It's right at him. I mean, I'm sure if you ask him, that's a ball he said he should have fielded.
The thing is, to me, in high school, I almost have to give that a hit. In high school.
I agree.
Because that ball just simply, like you said right off the bat, it just ate him up. First pitch outside. So right now the Griffins trying to put something together with 2 outs. Vadnais the runner at second. Will DeLone now 1 for 2. And here's Carter Hansberry, who's got the big hit of the day, the 2-run single back in the 4th inning that gave Dutchtown their first lead at 2-1. That's a strike. Again, it's going to be 7-8-9 due up in the 7th for the Wildcats. They have been held at bay since scoring a run in the first inning. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, the ball's got some movement. Harris right there. I mean, he started that ball out of third. See it change lanes right out of the zone. Hanbury from the swing and the miss.
And that's one of those things you can't teach, isn't it?
No, it's not. I mean, he's got just that natural nice run.
And a little line drive right at the second baseman. Zach Juneau goes down to a knee to catch it. And that will retire the side. So a hit and 2 runners were left. Griffins have stranded 5. We're on to the bottom of the 7th now. It is a 6-1 ball game. Griffin trying to close this thing out and move to the Final 4. And we've also reached the end of our limit during the school year, as this will be our final live stream and telecast, as we'll be moving on to replays throughout the rest of the summer. Replays will take us all the way up to the first week of football, which will be the beginning of September. And I got a feeling some of the baseball and softball we saw, like John Curtis and Santa Maud, that'll be one of our games selected to be replayed. Again, while we're thinking about it, congratulations, Santa Maud Lady Gators, 5A state champions. What a year Coach Amy Petrie and her team had this year. And but we'll be showing replays for the remainder of the summer, and then we will be back in the fall with live streaming football on our YouTube channel and also on REV4 TV. Well, here we go. Count them down now. You're 3 outs away from Sulphur.
Yeah, don't count the Wildcats out. I mean, they got here for a reason, right? You got some fight left in them. Sure, they've come from behind a few times this year. And if you're the Griffins, very important to try to get this leadoff out if you can.
Dutchtown trying to make it to the semifinals for the first time since 2010. First pitch. Called strike on Zach Juneau. Zach 1 for 2 today. He's got 1 of the 5 hits off of Nathan Monceau. 1-1 the count. Monceau in a hurry. Ground ball, Vadnais. Oh, what a play. Can he throw him out?
Wow.
Yes, he can.
Wow. God, what a play by Vadnais right there. Completely parallel to the ground, leaves his feet. I didn't know if he was going to have enough time to get up and throw Juneau out, but, I mean, gets up super quick. Perfectly accurate throw to get the first out. Central down to their final 2 outs.
I think because that ball was hit pretty well, it allowed him enough time. Batter now Connor Alsep, first pitch called strike. Connor today has bounced to third and also was hit by a pitch. Monceau. Boy, he has been outstanding this afternoon. What a performance he's turned in.
If I would have been smart, I would have kind of kept track of the hitters that he's been ahead of.
Good point.
I mean, that's huge. I mean, you know, you talk about it all the time, but whenever you go out there and actually execute, the more you work ahead, it just gives you so many more options. Keeps you in the game because you're working quick, minimizes your pitch count.
A ball and 2 strikes the count on Connor Alsep. 1 out away.
And not only do, you know, you work ahead. See, a lot of pitchers that work ahead get 0-2, 1-2, but then it takes them till they get to 3-2 to actually get the hitters out. Well, Monceau's not wasting much time at all. He's just 0-2 out or 1-2 out.
The year was 2010 when Dutchtown made it to the semifinals. The state tournament that year was played at Tulane. They lost to Catholic High 8-6. They're trying to get back for the first time in 13 years. Called strike on Cam Patterson. They are 1 out away. And they're also 1 out away from going 5-0 in the postseason. Curveball popped him up. When this ball comes down, Dutchtown is headed to Sulphur. Colin Dupree squeezes it, and the celebration is on in the middle of the field.
Dutchtown has earned the right to go to Sulphur. We'd like to thank and congratulate the Central team for an outstanding season.
What a performance for Nathan Monso and his Dutchtown Griffin team. They defeated two outstanding high school pitchers in DJ Primo and Jimmy Johnson. As you can see, the Dutchtown players right now shaking hands, congratulating the Central players. What a series. They win in 10, 3-2 last night. Convincing fashion today, 6-1.
Yeah, I mean, I just – the game last night, I mean, I thought that was so huge. I mean, you know, Dutchtown comes out of that game on top of the 3-2 victory, and I think came in today with a little bit more momentum. Of course, you have, you know, a little bit – you can be a little more lenient, I guess, because you have that advantage. But I think if Central wins that game last night, it may be a completely different ball game today as well. Dutchtown comes out. Monso, like you said, had a lot of pressure on him to, you know, at least go deep in the ball game. Comes out here, gives up one run in the first inning, and then spins a shutout for the rest of the game.
Boy, Monso really took charge after that first inning. It took a while for Dutchtown to get the bats going, and they opened it up in the fourth inning. We've got a lot to tell you about as we wrap it up, not only this game, but our school year on the REV Game of the Week live streams. We'll be back. Dutchtown headed to the semifinals on the Class 5A state tournament in Sulphur. We will be back with more on the REV Game of the Week.
New inventory arriving weekly at Ross Downing Buick GMC Hammond and Ross Downing Buick GMC of Gonzales. We've got truckloads of inventory en route. Even if you don't see it on the lot, it's on the way during the end of summer sale at Ross Downing Buick GMC Hammond and Ross Downing Buick GMC of Gonzales, like the new 2021 Sierra 1500 on the way at rossdowninghammond.com, rossdowninggonzales.com.
Dr. Brian Hollis is Ascension Parish's orthodontist. Dr. Hollis has an excellent reputation for bringing state-of-the-art technology and the highest standard of patient care to Ascension. He attended LSU Dental School, and he completed a residency to become a board-certified specialist in orthodontics. An avid supporter in our community, Dr. Hollis is married to Celeste Pyron Hollis, and they have 4 children. Dr. Hollis, Ascension Parish's orthodontist. Grow up smiling with Hollis Orthodontics.
The Tata Law Firm has been fighting for our clients to get their best recovery for over 20 years. And now that tradition will continue to the next generation.
Hi, I'm Rick Tata, the newest member of the Tata Law Firm.
We understand that it can be frustrating dealing with your claim.
So we're here to help you get what you deserve. If you're seriously injured in an accident, call the Tata Law Firm today.
We're not just a face on an ad.
Call 756-0007 when you're injured. You gotta call. You gotta call Tata.
Well, back at Griffin Park, where the large crowd that was here this afternoon starting to file out after an impressive 2-game sweep by the Dutchtown Griffins as they win this ball game 6-1. You see Coach Chris Shakesnotter talking with his players right now, and what a ball game we saw as this Griffin team made a statement in the first round, beating Slidell. Last week they had to go extra innings to defeat Ponchatoula. And then yesterday and today, they got it done with their 2 big guns, Just Claire and Monso on the bump.
Yeah, and don't forget about Jace Bennett came in, with three 3 innings to close out that game last night, which, again, I know I touched on it earlier. I think that game was huge, super pivotal. I mean, obviously you want to win the first game, but the stress and the actual energy it took physically, to win that game last night, coming out here today, I think just gives Dutchtown a little bit of an advantage. Again, Monso, huge through the team on his shoulders right there, knowing he's got to go as deep as he can to give his chance to win, his team a chance to win, and he did just that. I mean, and kudos to Central, played an unbelievable baseball game last night, just fell, 1 run short in 10 innings. Today probably had the win taken out of themselves a little bit, came out early, got up on Dutchtown after the first inning 1-0, but once Dutchtown put up a crooked number in the fourth, it's just a little bit too steep of a hill to climb.
Well, we've seen throughout the year, I mean, we've been doing this, I think, now for about 5 years, Mike, and our teams have always been on the road, and I think this also shows just how important if you can play in front of your home crowd, sleep in your own bed, have your own routine just like you used to. It just carries such a factor. I think it gives you really an advantage.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason there's home field advantage, right? And we saw it tonight. I mean, the crowd last night was absolutely ridiculous. Great crowd again today. Probably a little warm for some people. Probably maybe opted to sit by their pool instead of come out here today. But great showing from the Dutchtown fans. And I mean, there's something to be said for home field advantage.
Well, for the Griffins, they are now 35-3. Talk about a season. 35 wins. And for the first time since 2010, they're going to go to the semifinals as they await the winner of West Monroe and Sam Houston. West Monroe had a 1-0 lead in that series going into today. Whoever wins that series will play against Dutchtown in a semifinal game. I think it was May 12th. Yeah, it will be May 12th on Field 40 at McMurray Park in Sulphur as the Griffins are going to continue going, and it's now down to a 2-game schedule because it's 1 semifinal game and 1 final game, and that's it.
That's it.
So you've only got 2 games left, and when you got guys like Gisclair and Monso, they're going to both be well-rested, ready to go.
Yep, they're both well-rested. I mean, you get 7 innings out of both of them the last 2 days and 3 quality innings from Jace Bennett, so you're going to have every single pitcher, rested, ready to go by the time you meet either Sam Houston or West Monroe, which, again, the last update we got was 2-2. It may have changed. That was after top of 5, and West Monroe actually leads that series 1-0.
Well, the hitting star, I'm going to go with Carter Hansberry. He got the big 2-out hit. That's basically the difference in the ball game because whenever he got that hit in the 4th inning, drove in the first 2 runs for Dutchtown, they never did relinquish that lead with Monso on the bump, and they now advance with that 35-3 record. Well, my friend, it's been fun. I've enjoyed it. Glad to have come back for the last 4 games. Look forward to hopefully being around next year and doing some more baseball and softball in the springtime on our REV Games of the Week.
Absolutely. Good to have you back. Enjoyed it, and looking forward to next year already.
And we'll all be watching and be there as the Griffins move to Sulphur and the semifinals, as that will be coming up next. Keep in mind now, for the remainder of the summer leading up into the beginning of September, we will have replays of some of the games in all of the sports that we've had throughout the school year. We will have replays coming up each week on our REV Games of the Week. So that wraps up our school year. The very happy ending for Dutchtown. The Griffins win by a final score of 6-1. They sweep this quarterfinal series against Central, winning it 3-2 last night in 10, winning this afternoon 6-1. So we invite you to check out our Rev Channel 4 for our replays throughout the summer. And we look forward to the school year coming up in the fall when we will have high school football, all of that on Rev Channel 4. So for Mike Mohler, I'm Lyall Boudreaux. You have been watching the REV Game of the Week.